Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brock Beard from lastcar.info. Coming into this week, I was originally planning on doing a different race for tonight's watch-along, but clearly with the events of this week, those plans quickly changed. Before we get any further into the show, I want to offer my condolences to the friends, family, and fans of the 7 lives lost in the accident this week with the accident in North Carolina. We lost Greg Biffle, his wife, Christina Grossu Biffle, his children, Emma Lunders Biffle and Ryder Biffle, as well as coach driver Craig Wadsworth, and then also Dennis Dutton and his youngest son, Jack Dutton. Condolences to all of them. There's no easy way to discuss subjects like this. Sadly, it's something that has happened from time to time. These drivers and their families are very dependent on quick travel and private aircraft. Of course, memories go back to the loss of Alan Kowicki and Davey Allison in 1993. Then you go to, of course, what happened with the Rick Hendrick and with a lot of Hendrick family members. Not Rick himself, but Papa Joe and Ricky Hendrick and the others in the accident in 2004 at Martinsville. It's hard to internalize something like this. I'm sure we are all trying to grasp that at the same time here. But I think there's a lot of reason to celebrate the lives of these individuals. Again, not just Biffle himself, but the others involved. Greg, for sure, with his tremendous efforts after Hurricane Helene to support others in the community, and, of course, his accomplishments on the track. Apologize. I never interviewed Biffle myself, but I have, of course, we've all seen him on the track and his incredible accomplishments. One of the most consistent drivers in the sport. And yet, again, a guy that, didn't start very early in his career, started later, which is very traditional for competitors, in a previous generation. Drivers that usually it wasn't until their mid-30s that they became Cup Series drivers. Dale Jarrett comes to mind, Bobby Hamilton, other guys like that. And by 2003, in the race we're about to watch tonight, which will, of course, be the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, site of Biffle's very surprising first Cup Series win, and we'll get started on that here in a little bit. It was, we're just talking a year out from Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman battling for Rookie of the Year. Both maybe not as, as young as like a Jeff Gordon type or something like that, but definitely still among, the young guns there. And Biffle was always kind of an interesting personality in that sense there. He hit the way he got into the series and his development through the Truck Series and the Push Series was... very much, very classic in that sense. It was very, very, very typical for drivers to have to wait very long in their careers to do that. Indeed, I got another project I'm working on that's talking about drivers of that category as well. There's a lot of positive memories, and we'll certainly be sharing those here in the show here as well. So I am going to start the race here in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more before we get started. I have some notes. I actually watched qualifying for this race beforehand, so I kind of like to set the stage for this race before we go into it. But I'm going to take a moment, and then we will jump into it. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Brock from lastcar.info, and we are about to do a live watch-along of Greg Biffle's first Cup Series win, the 2003 Pepsi 400 at Daytona. And to do that, we will jump into a little bit of backstory here on this one, and then we will jump into that a little bit. We'll probably do a little bit of a post-show here afterwards. I don't know if we'll do trivia or not, but feel free to stick around after the race here. As it turns out, this is actually a bit of a shorter race for circumstances that will become clear if you if you have not seen this one yet, but you will certainly remember this as well. This is, for one thing, the midway point of a full season championship in 2003. And Greg Biffle was competing for Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series. He had made a few starts in 2002 and got the sponsor from Granger that followed him up from the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, competing against the likes of the twosome over at the Chip Ganassi Racing Stables of Casey Mears and Jamie McMurray. Also Tony Raines, who had an unsponsored car for Base Motorsports in that season. And again, full season championship. Matt Kenseth in that famous championship battle was very much the point leader. He had amassed a sizable lead over Jeff Gordon coming into this, I believe 174 points in the Latford scale there. And every finish mattered. So again, no playoffs, no regroupings, none of that there. And in the middle of this, again, Biffle had not yet won a race, hadn't really been a factor as far as I can recall. I remember once in the Southern 500, he was very strong. I think it was like the same summer as it would have been after this race that he led a lot of the laps and was looking really good. And then a flywheel broke. And I remember that being really unusual because that seemed to be a very common reason for a driver to fall out of the race, but that was the case at the time. Excuse me, just need a little water there. The race in the schedule, again, midway point of the season, and as it happens, was just a couple weeks after the NASCAR race at Sears Point. Again, still calling it Sears Point, even though it was Infineon at that point there. Robbie Gordon had pulled off what was the next to last of his Cup Series wins. He would sweep the road courses in 2003 and win at Watkins Glen that August. Robbie drove the Charlie's Angels full throttle paint scheme that week. And you'll see a lot of special paint schemes in this race here as well. Mentioning Jamie McMurray earlier, he had a Terminator 3 paint scheme. Talk about something that dates this race a little bit in the time frame there. But Robbie's win was shrouded in a little bit of controversy there. The good old-fashioned racing back to the line, well before Dale Jarrett's accident at New Hampshire, which would happen later in the month after this race here, was very much in the middle there. There was Robbie Gordon himself in an interview during the qualifying broadcast said that he had asked NASCAR officials several times for clarification as to what the rule was for racing back to the line, and he was told time and again that it was okay. Christian Fittipaldi, driving for Petty Enterprises at the time, crashed in turn 10, a very treacherous corner on the road course, and Robbie set up a pass which was not for the lead, but for fifth place at the time, getting around Kevin Harvick there in the battle to the line. So an interesting situation, the way that all that worked out, but again, was a big victory for Robbie. So that was going on in the background. Going through the field here, I made some notes on this. Another sign of this at the time is this was a race that had 47 entrants for 43 spots in the field. So you had 4 drivers that failed to qualify for this event. The 4 DNQs, one of them was Kerry Earnhardt, who was driving a Fitz Bradshaw car sponsored by Hot Tamales. He was 35th fastest with 6 cars to go, but got bumped out by Jimmy Spencer late in the session, so he missed the show. Tony Raines, one of the rookie candidates, driving the unsponsored base car, also missed the race, a rare DNQ for him. In spite of the lack of sponsorship, he actually made most of those races that year. Shane Meal was driving the number 43 for the Petties in this race here, was trying to make his first Cup start. Unfortunately, he lost second and third gear in his qualifying lap and was unable to actually qualify for the race. He would ultimately make his debut later on. I believe he drove for Bill Davis in 2004, and I think made some other starts in the 08. I remember one in the Atlanta, I guess was, I think it was in 2005. He got in that first lap accident there that year. It was the first time the number 43 had failed to qualify for a cup race at Daytona since 1994, when Wally Dallenbach Jr. was driving. Wally, interestingly, was in the booth for the qualifying broadcast on this one. And then the other driver that failed to qualify was Christian Fittipaldi, again, mentioning his crash at Sears Point 2 weeks before this race. There was an off weekend leading into this. Was driving the Bugles Dodge and also failed to qualify. That meant that only one Petty Enterprises entry was in the race, and that was Kyle Petty, who was back in the field. Who won the pole? That would be Steve Park. And interestingly, driving the exact same car that Jeff Green won the pole in the 2003 Daytona 500, the Richard Childress number 30, sponsored by America Online. Park was going through a rough patch there at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, had a very rough start to the year in his attempt to come back from his serious injury that was suffered at Darlington in September of 2001. Came back into the number 30 car. There was a bit of a controversy at Richmond in the spring race there, the same weekend that Jerry Nadeau was injured in the 01 car there. Park and Green ended up swapping rides, so Green will be in the number 1 Pennzoil Chevrolet in this race, and Park, your pole sitter in this. He was the 40th car on track, 18th fastest in practice, and somehow found speed to get the pole, which was very surprising because a lot of drivers actually lost speed in qualifying versus their practice laps there as well. And had to wait out both his teammates, Kevin Harvick and Robbie Gordon. Both of them, of course, were Richard Childress at the time, to try and beat him for the pole, but Park ended up holding on. Harvick ended up your outside pole sitter, driving the same super speedway car he had run in all the races to that point. Kind of an interesting year to that point as well, because, of course, the 2003 Daytona 500 was rain shortened, and Michael Waltrip pulled off the win there. And then the Aaron's 499, the spring race at Talladega, had one of the biggest accidents in the super speedway's history. Big wreck triggered by Ryan Newman, one of the many finishes he had towards the back of the field that ultimately cost him a shot at winning the championship that year. A massive pileup that wiped out several cars. So you have kind of a hodgepodge of those who escaped that wreck to still have their cars there, and then others trying to bring new cars into this event there as well. Jeff Gordon started third. Sterling Marlin showed fourth there. He was briefly on the front row, but got bumped back. And then, of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the fifth spot, ahead of his teammate, Michael Waltrip. Waltrip going for his third consecutive win at Daytona. Of course, winning the 2001 Daytona 500 and the 2002 night race before winning at 2003. If he would have won this race, it would have tied him. He would have been one of only 2 drivers to accomplish this. The other was Cale Yarborough back in the 1960s. But of course, we know that the outcome was very different there. Ken Schrader had a great qualifying run for BAM Racing, started in the 7th spot. Jamie McMurray in the Terminator 3 scheme in 8th. Elliott Sadler for Robert Yates Racing in 9th. And then the 10th spot with Jeremy Mayfield, still driving at the time for the Evernham Motorsports deal. Other things of interest here throughout the field. Jimmy Johnson, talk about the special paint schemes through the field. Jimmy Johnson running a SpongeBob SquarePants car. So I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same throughout the field there. Bobby Labonte at the time was 4th in points after a disastrous 2002 season, showed a lot of consistency in 03. Unfortunately, he would have to wait all the way until the championship race in Homestead and after Bill Elliott's flat tire to actually get his first win of that season and ultimately the last of his Cup career. Interestingly, this same broadcast in qualifying announced that Homestead was increasing its banking and adding the safer barrier. Safer barriers at the time were only being gradually phased into tracks such as Richmond and, of course, New Hampshire, given the events of the 2000 season. But in this race, you will see that the safer barrier is not yet on at Daytona. That would still take a bit longer. I think it was 05, if I remember correctly, that it was finally added to the track there. So very much the old Daytona, the old surface, and not the safer barriers. Several drivers coming into this race on streaks of some very bad luck here. Dale Jarrett had DNF'd in 5 of his last 7 Cup starts. And again, as I mentioned, later in that July, he would be involved in the accident that led to the freeze the field and not racing to the caution incident that would occur at New Hampshire. Ricky Craven was running in Richard Childress engine for this. They had attempted at the PPI Motorsports team in that beautiful tied Pontiac to run an in-house engine program. However, in 4 of his last 5 races, he had terrible qualifying runs and was almost in provisional land. He started 17th in this race here. Buckshot Jones is in this race, driving for the Phoenix Racing Team. The Mikasuki Resorts Dodge will start in the 19th spot. David Green was fastest in practice, driving an expansion car for Hendrick Motorsports. This was the number 60 Haas car, which, of course, leading into Gene Haas's eventual added involvement in the sport, both as a team owner and then ultimately team co-owner with Tony Stewart much later. David Green was fastest in practice, but many were skeptical because he had gotten a bit of a tow while everybody else was trying single car runs. Ultimately ended up starting 21st in this field. Mentioning Jerry Nadeau's injury that occurred back in May of that year. For this race, Mike Wallace driving the 0-1. Mike, of course, very much a standout at the super speedways at that time there as well. Biffle himself started in the 30th spot. He was actually the next to last car to qualify for this race, just ahead of Dave Blaney, who at the time was driving the Jasper Engines machine there as well. So again, 47 cars for 43 spots. We mentioned the DNQs. This was the first race that Kurt Busch ever ran with the Irwin Tool sponsorship, one of his most familiar schemes, certainly in, I would say, 2005, the blue and gold car there that he ran for Roush. This is the first time it ran. I mentioned the expansion car there for David Green. There was also one for Joe Gibbs Racing. Mike Bliss was driving the number 80 for JGR. He started in the 32nd spot. Rusty Wallace back a distant 33rd. This was his first year driving for Dodge at the Penske Racing effort, and ended up well back in the field in this one. Actually had a piston issue in practice, had to change engines, and back then the change engine and go to the back of the field rule was brand new, so he was just driving for pit position, did not get a good pit position there, and had to start back in the 33rd spot. Jeff Green, again, in the Pennzoil car in 34th. We got Jack Sprague going for Rookie of the Year. I believe it was still Sprague in this one. I don't think Ward Burton had taken over quite yet. But the number 0, Net Zero Pontiac, underrated paint scheme. That Pontiac, you'll see it in this race too. Underrated, very gorgeous body style back then. Haven't mentioned Matt Kenseth in the field. That's because, as per usual, Matt Kenseth did not have a great qualifying run. Starts in the 37th spot, was driving the same car that he ran in both the Bud Shootout that year and the Spring Talladega race. But still not a very good run. But he, again, leads Jeff Gordon by 174 points. Again, this under the old point system, so don't think 1 point per position. That hadn't been phased in until 2011. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., third in points, 176 behind. And again, Bobby Labonte, fourth in points at this point. Looking, let's see, further back here. I think actually Rusty was 38th, not 33rd. I have a thing on that. But again, the issue for him. Kyle Petty, again, the only Petty Enterprises car in the field, the 42nd spot. And Stacy Compton rounding out the field there, driving for Morgan McClure Motorsports in another Pontiac. This was after Mike Skinner was kicked off the team after failing to qualify at Michigan. And Johnny Miller was trying to drive that car at Sears Point. I think Miller qualified, if I remember correctly on that. But I think they entered 2 cars, and the second car didn't qualify back then. But again, kind of a different story there. So a lot of things happening in the background here. A number of details here, just kind of put you back in the 2003 mindset here. This race had a live NASCAR on-demand broadcast. You could watch between, I believe, 5 different drivers on different channels. I don't think that's in this broadcast. We're going to watch the NASCAR Classics broadcast here shortly. Track Pass, which at the time was the means to listen to the scanner, was free for this weekend, so you could listen to audio throughout the field there as well. The shark fin on the rear glass of the cars was raised an inch to 2.5 inches. This was to increase the efficiency of the roof flaps on the vertical flap on the roof, not the one at angle when the car starts coming around. But they did a great segment with Dave Burns that kind of explained that there as well. But a little bit of a change aerodynamically, and it also cost these cars some speed. So again, probably another reason that a lot of these drivers were frustrated. So again, kind of an interesting deal. TNT, incidentally, would broadcast Days of Thunder after this race. And this, of course, race being on 4th of July weekend, made for a busy evening there. So, yeah, this was, I'm seeing questions about Carrot Top. Yep, this was Ken Schrader in the Carrot Top car. So you will see that, and you will see it very soon in this one here, because he did, again, have a great qualifying run, the number 49 car. I like that paint scheme. I don't care. I like something that's a bit crazy, and it's the white and blue looked really good. I liked it when Mike Wallace drove it, too. I know that certain other YouTubers aren't a huge fan of it, but that's the case there as well. I think that's most of the notes I have here, so let's go ahead and we will jump into it here. Again, we might pause from time to time. Maybe we'll, again, do some trivia wherever. We'll kind of just play it by ear, but we'll probably just push right on through here. So we will jump to, again, classics.nascar.com. If you have not bookmarked that page, definitely make sure to do so. And we will switch over here. And there we go. And oh boy, it's our good friend Warren Sapp of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers about to give the command to start engines. I could not stand the Buccaneers back then. I completely embarrassed myself at a Super Bowl party when they just dismembered the Oakland Raiders that year. Still not happy with John Gruden about that. But hey, you know, again, different memories here as well. But we'll go ahead and jump into it. Let me know in the chat if the volume needs to be adjusted. I'll try not to make it too much going on here, but we'll go ahead and jump in and we will get started. So again, the 2003 Pepsi 400 at Daytona.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome back Warren Sapp.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Oh, and you will definitely hear that beautiful sound of these old super speedway cars at Daytona as well.
Hope you're having a great birthday weekend, America. We celebrate it with you. The engines have fired, and we're about to move 400 miles closer to the Winston Cup Championship. It's a long drive, but we have three guys that can take you for the ride better than anybody. Alan Bestwick,
the memories. My goodness.
Thank you. Can't tell you how
what a beautiful
excited we are to be here at Daytona
this.
tonight and to bring you the race for the championship. BP, let's start talking teammates. How are they going to play into tonight's race, and how will tonight's race play into the championship?
Well, never has working together been more important than it is today in super speedway racing. And who better to work with than a teammate? We talked to Kurt Busch about that, and Kurt said, we understand we have Kenseth, our teammate back there. We need to work with him. 5 Roush cars, 30th are back. They need to get together, get around Matt Kenseth, and take him to the front.
You got the grandstands on the backstretch still, too. Radically different track than what you see now.
That point championship lead.
And you're right. And I tell you what, to beat DEI, you're going to have some teamwork. 3 guys can do it. There's 3 teammates that can do it. Childress Racing. But 2 of those guys don't play well together, and that's Robbie Gordon and Kevin Harvick. So it should be real interesting. I think those guys can do it, but
looks like the volume's good, everyone. Okay, good.
Yeah, it should be.
If my voice is too loud, let me know too. I can adjust that.
The guys on pit road, they might decide who wins this race.
Well, pit track position is so doggone important. It's so hard to pass once you get by that 3rd or 4th position. Back in the pack, you can pass. And what better place to do it than on pit road? It might be, the race may be decided on pit road tonight.
Benny, you are right. And it's real important also how you get in the pit lane. You've got to charge into this pit, but you got to be careful not to lock your tires up, because there'll be guys taking only 2 tires. If you lock up that left front tire, you may flat spot it, may cause problems.
Robbie Gordon won one of the dual races at Daytona that year, didn't he?
Here at
like
Daytona,
him and Junior, or him and Waltrip, I believe.
During tonight's race. The dignitaries are clearing the grid, including Angie Everhart, the co-grand marshal, the last action hero. When we come back, a look at the starting lineup, and the cars will be on the track. Starting lineup for tonight's Pepsi 400.
Oh, love this grid graphic.
Childress teammate Kevin Harvick on the front row.
All right.
Row number 2, Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin. Between them, 11 wins at the restrictor plate racetracks. There's the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated dominators. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip in row 3. Could one of them continue the dominant streak tonight?
Case Red on the inside of row 4 is best super speedway starting over a year, and Jamie McMurray finished 3rd last night, started
The
30th.
Terminator 3 scheme. Terminator 3 was not very good. I'm not a big fan, but I thought that was depressing, honestly.
Finished third at Talladega back in April, and Jeremy Mayfield, Talladega pole winner. Back in row 6, Jimmy Johnson.
I love these tall noses on the super speedway cars.
On the outside.
Always so good. There's the SpongeBob car there for Jimmy.
Back in the 7th row, Stewart the defending series champion. And while you look at the rest of the starting lineup, we told you it was an all Richard Childress race.
Robbie was 03, Mikey in 05. Okay, thank you, Auto Rockin'.
Robbie Gordon is starting back in the...
Dale Jarrett looking for a turnaround at a track we've historically been very strong.
Robbie Gordon, Benny Parsons up at NBC. You got me?
There's Buckshot there for the Phoenix Racing
okay.
team.
What's your biggest concern tonight, Robbie?
Look at these. I've not minded the August race at Daytona for the playoff system, but if we don't have to have the playoff system, yeah, put Daytona back to July 4th. That's fine by me. Larry Foyt made the show. Good for him. He had a terrible year that season. You remember from the video on the channel there. Kenny Wallace in the YJ Stinger car, and there's Biffle from the 30th spot. Mike Bliss in the JGR car, the Irwin car debuting. Jeff Green, beautiful silver version of the, I believe it's the Pennzoil Platinum car. And it was still Jack Sprague in the number 0 car. Net Zero machine. There's your championship leader with Kenseth.
I think so. My two teammates up there, Steve Park, I want to congratulate him driving the AOL car. And again, Harvick, you know, they're on the front row. We've got the same stuff they got.
Todd Bodine, the Bell Car Racing effort. Last season, before that team was in operation, of course, Stacy Compton in the Pirates of the Caribbean Pontiac for Kodiak.
On the field in the 4 car. Here are those who failed to qualify for the race. The top 2 of those, Petty Enterprises cars.
Big crowd, my goodness.
The engine department let them down this week.
Hey there, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're just about to get started if you're tuning in here. We got 94 people in the chat. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in as we celebrate the life of Greg Biffle and the other victims from this past Thursday.
DEI contingent, same race car he was very fast with here in the 500, except for that controversial yellow line ruling that lost the lap, but they brought the same race car back. They massaged on it all summer. Tony Glover, the team manager, says tonight Sterling Marlin's win count here at Daytona.
The lines on these cars. There's that big shark fin you can see on the 24 there as well.
One of the hottest racers on the circuit lately, Matt. 7 top 10s in the last 8 races, but here at Daytona, not so good. He hasn't finished in top 10 one time in the last 6 races, but one time in the last 6 races. So they're not sure exactly what they've got here. Last night they worked on who they could race well with. Hopefully it'll pay off for them tonight. Marty?
Dave,
look at that Pontiac
Stacey Compton is being held in the garage area currently for an illegal fuel cell. We don't know how many laps they are going to be held there for, but they will be held in the garage area and will not be on the track when the green flag is flown.
And there's your last place change, right? Illegal fuel cell for Compton. I remembered he had an issue. I forgot it was that. I thought it was an electrical issue.
But the joy was short-lived after a lap 1 crash on Thursday. Another boost of confidence for Park. The pole here for the Pepsi 400. Park needs another injection of confidence, and throughout the garage area,
this was frustrating. Oh, I remember that. Fontana. Park getting wadded up on the backstretch here. Oh, that was brutal.
Tonight, Park has a very rare opportunity, a chance to reprove himself to his driver friends that he is indeed a worthy ally on the racetrack and belongs among the front runners in Winston Cup. Alan?
Okay, Marty, there you see Steve Park leading this field.
Momo News 1824. Now, Biffle didn't win the shootout that year. 03, I think, was junior. I think Jarrett won it in 04. But no, Biffle, I don't remember if Biffle won the shootout before. I don't think he did.
Dave, you got more on that?
Alan, I checked with him, and actually Ricky's wearing a new helmet tonight that had the wrong visor on it. It was a smoke visor that you might normally wear in the bright sunlight. He needed a lighter tint on the visor, and that was it.
Okay, so a helmet issue instead of the windshield issue. There you go. They are just letting the 4 car, the Stacy Compton-driven machine, go from
okay, Compton does get back out. So that's actually not a bad paint scheme. It's kind of simple, but not bad.
A fuel cell problem in the tech line sent him back, and they just got it through in race-approved condition.
And there's a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit down pit road. My advice would be don't speed.
There was a segment in the qualifying broadcast that mentioned that it was increasingly common that teams were going to get multiple sponsors, but you still had special paint schemes for big races like this one. It used to be like this, the August Michigan race for some reason in the Brickyard always had special paint schemes. Not to mention the Winston, of course. The Winston really started it.
40 laps, you divide 160 by 40. That's 4 times.
Small fuel cell, short pit window.
You save a pit stop. Maybe
I think it was the one, yeah.
I talked to some drivers and crew chiefs in the garage area. They felt like this race could be won on fuel mileage tonight.
There's definitely a couple guys looking at it.
That person That person had that one
Laps of any race are always tense,
pretty
but
clear
at a track
heads
with
up
the
on
restricted
this.
engine package where everyone stays bunched up. Are they any more tense for the drivers?
Yeah, I think they are. I think when, you know, this place in Talladega, for sure, when the race starts, everybody, it takes a little bit to get the cars up to
Incidentally,
speed. Like you said,
I picked Kevin Harvick to win this race, and last row picked Rusty Wallace. So we started opposite ends of the field.
Not only do you want, you know,
See how that
you're trying
shakes
to stay
out.
focused, you're trying to stay in line and hold your position. You also have to be defensive right at the start, because there's always going to be.
There's another version of Biffle's scheme where he had the red nose on the Ranger car. They ran that later in the year. But here we go, about to get started.
We're getting set to start the 45th Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Glad you're with us.
I think, GR NASCAR fan, I think you could listen to the MRN or PRN back then. That's a good question. I believe you could. I remember watching Cravens win at Martinsville on Track Pass because we didn't have cable, and that was interesting. Down when I was studying back then. Good times.
Kevin Harvick edges out in front of Park.
And like I said, CBP, we got guys.
Oh, big lead for Harvick.
They're already trying to go up the middle, split cars, and try their best to get to the front.
Remember the yellow line on the inside of the back straightaway. That's out of bounds, that yellow line all the way around the track.
These first laps might be the most dangerous, but believe me, they're the easiest to gain some positions.
Oh, gorgeous.
3 deep.
And it's also probably
With the glare there, too. Oh.
This is the best your tires are going to be right here. So you've got more grip than you will a little bit later. So
I think that's Compton. It's lost the pack already. Looks like Mears or maybe Kyle Petty there at the back, about 42nd on the lean side line.
Harvick and Park single file.
Ooh, that's Gordon. I keep thinking it's Bobby Labonte. It's a Pepsi Million car, I think, for Gordon. And on top of that, it looks like Jimmy's car. Ooh, really loose. Well before the repave in 2011, so they are hopping everywhere. There's Michael looking high.
As he looks back, the rear bumper of Gordon. Right behind him is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
How do we get away from this? Blame the car tomorrow. 2008, ever since then, it just hasn't sounded like this.
The bottom line last night in the Busch race, it seemed like a lot of guys would run low.
It sounds great from the onboard, too, not just externally.
On board with Robbie Gordon just a moment ago, you could see just how close he
Yeah, that looks like Compton. That's just still hanging on there. About to lose the draft completely.
And that's when it's easy to get frustrated, right where Robbie's at. He just went from the high line down to the center. You can't go anywhere.
Elliott Sadler in the tie-dye M&M's car there.
When you've got a good race car, he's got no place to go.
And check out Kurt Busch, Benny. He started.
Schrader's still holding tough on the inside.
Last time at the start-finish line, he was 17th. Made his way halfway through to the front.
Well, he obviously found a way to go.
But he did bring his teammate, Matt Kenseth. Kenseth was still back in the 20th position, 26th.
Ooh, that's close. Jarrett and Robbie.
97 so far, pretty good.
Robbie sticking his nose in there.
Exactly what they hoped for. Jimmy Finning built a brand new race car for the Daytona race here in July. Didn't like what he had in Daytona in February. Didn't like what he had at Talladega. So he built a brand new car for here. This is what they were hoping for, that the car would draft well. So far, so good.
Second place, Steve Park shuffled to the outside. Jeff Gordon is through, and here comes the train.
Oh, man, second.
Schrader
third,
up to
fourth,
4th, and Sadler to 5th. Jimmy in the SpongeBob car to 6th. Pontiac really struggled. Benson back there with Mike Wallace still.
It's about 8th position.
Yep, it's a little too late. That inside line is
The Viagra confetti scheme, Christian Bud. Yeah, forgot about that one. There you go. Yeah, still the Winston Cup Series. Of course, this being the last season of the full season points and the last for the Winston Cup Series.
And he was somewhere, Alan, coming down the front stretch, and owner Richard Childress told him not to go. He said, do not get caught up in the middle tonight. Be patient. Work the outside lane. That's what worked for Busch Series star Johnny Sauter in the RCR car last night, but Robbie got caught in the middle like he is right now.
Ooh, boy, that's tight.
He's caught or not, man. He's been making that middle work for him. He's made a lot of positions up in the center, so...
And there he dove to the inside. Maybe he was heeding the advice of his car owner, Richard Childress.
Yeah, he'll go high here and pick up a couple cars right now. He's got a lot of momentum.
Yeah, looks like it's pulled up on him pretty good. Ryan Newman just hoping to finish this race on all four wheels, both the Daytona 500 and, of course, that brutal hit in the Spring Talladega race. Resulted in him being, I believe, last place both times. So really looking to turn things around.
Bill, Steve Park sliding back.
Sliding back, but probably pretty pleased at this point. Their goal, I talked to Steve this
Underrated
afternoon,
Michael Waltrip scheme there. The other Stars and Stripes one, 01, of course, was great. 02 was good. This one looks really nice.
Cannot get down to the inside. They want to try and get him down to the inside. But Park told me once he and Harvick got him through the first couple of laps.
Ooh, boy, McMurray almost in the wall there. They are hanging on. Only 6 laps in. These tires are giving up a lot. Wow. Oh, and Kurt right on the line. Kurt made that huge move on Gordon for trying to go for the win in 2005 in the 500, right around that same spot. Ooh, look at that big hump in 1 and 2. They're all bouncing around.
On board the Mike Wallace, the Army car, and where is he, Alan?
19th.
19th, started 23rd. Robbie Gordon, he's back in the middle again.
Coming back.
Now he's getting behind his teammate, though.
Yeah, Robbie's got a good race car. If he can get somebody to work with him right now, I think he'll take it to the front.
And Steve Park is Richard Childress' teammate you're looking ahead at.
124 viewers in here. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We are in the early laps of 2003 Pepsi 400.
A little bit, but he used to be terrible.
As we follow Greg Biffle's first Cup Series win.
Ooh, pushing that yellow line.
Where is he running at this point? Started the 30th spot, next to last among the qualifiers. Oh, Junior doing what he does. And Schrader right with him. There we go.
If he can pull this off, that's going to be impressive.
He's trying. Gordon is, this is right around that time that Gordon started to catch up on the DEI guys.
Just kind of pushed Jeff Gordon.
It wasn't until 2005 it really kind of turned around.
Nice run in the early laps for Elliott. Started 9th.
And now Junior's hung on the outside as his drafting teammate.
28th for Biffle, 2.9 seconds back. Johnson up to 4th, Stewart 5th.
Tony Stewart's up there. Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart working nose to tail.
And Junior's going to need Michael. He's looking for Michael in that mirror right now because these guys know that if they're going to beat Earnhardt and Waltrip, they got to separate it.
Michael's back in 10th
graphic
spot.
glitch back in the day there. And Compton not too far back. 6 seconds is not great when everybody else is probably within 2 of each other.
Ricky Craven trying to get up behind Junior.
The problem with the July race is you get so many washouts in qualifying in the race itself. It just made it so frustrating. But you start it late afternoon like this, just gorgeous.
The car goes in the corner and the springs start collapsing. That's when you start picking up, you start losing some miles per hour.
But not much.
About 5 miles per hour, you're right, not much.
Orange car you're looking at, Ricky Craven. Finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just talking, you look at the brake now. I don't see that light coming on. Now, you won't use the brake.
I like how they integrated the flag into the DEI pattern of the 15. That's gorgeous.
Real tight in the pack,
Great
you
scheme.
may have to use that brake, you know, and so you'll see that brake light come on and off when you're tapping the brake if you're in a tight bunch right there.
Never backing off the throttle,
just riding the brake a little bit.
Now there's Michael Waltrip getting alongside
second screen here a little
Jr.
bit.
See if Junior can find a way to squeeze in line
Whoop,
behind
hang on.
him.
Don't need that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's tight.
Or maybe in front of him.
There we go. I can see it a little better.
Now, the 31 will jump out and follow that 8 car.
Still do a double take seeing that U.S. Army car there as well. Mike Wallace, of course, driving it here.
We've seen some teammates.
Very good, the super speedways at the time.
Yeah, here comes that 31 car. Here comes Robbie Gordon trying to help Junior out and himself.
And himself, right.
Junior's going to get behind Michael right there. All right, so the 2 guys that have dominated the races here at Daytona over the last couple of years now hooked up nose to tail. We'll see if they can make any progress. It's Independence Weekend, NASCAR on NBC.
Great graphics package.
Kevin Harvick is the leader of the Pepsi 400, but it's the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated duo that is on the move.
And they've gone to the outside trying to get by Tony Stewart. Couldn't do it on
See if
the
they can make something happen.
On the outside.
Gosh, that Gordon car looks so much like Bobby Labonte's. It's really throwing me off.
Jamie McMurray. That's not McMurray. Who is that?
That's Jeff Gordon.
Ah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And Elliott Sadler in the 38. All the different. Look at this. Michael Waltrip 3 deep to the outside.
There we go.
Now pulls it back.
Beautiful cars at 03.
Bill, you got something for us from Earnhardt Jr.'s.
I know it was a step towards common template, but they still look great.
Got trapped back in traffic and thought he was going to hook up with the 32 of Ricky Craven, but Craven couldn't hang on. So in that traffic, Junior was like a hunting dog looking for the 15 of Michael Waltrip, and they found it, and now they are marching their way toward the front. This is
Joshua Boston, the nose actually changed slightly on the Dodges. If you look very closely at the front grille, the grill above the front valence there, it's a little different from 02. It seemed like it was on the lower nose, and then they moved it up in 03. It became kind of the basis for 04. Ooh, boy, they're right against the wall there on the straightaways.
Marty, another set of teammates that were looking for each other. The Gibbs guys, Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte. Tony kept moving around in front of Junior and Michael, trying to get the 18.
Kurt Busch looking strong up high.
Now they've hooked up. Tony says, let's just stay in line and ride this all the way to the front.
They were separated by Michael Waltrip when he passed Bobby Labonte and then Tony Stewart a little while ago. Now Robbie Gordon is between Stewart and Bobby Labonte. Some pretty serious blocking going on there a minute ago, trying to keep Earnhardt Jr. and Waltrip back, huh?
Yeah, and that's what these guys have to do. I think they're tired of it, and they got to keep those guys separate. And obviously,
Ooh, it's like gold on the 24. That's gorgeous. Wow, that sun hit that really nice.
They're going to go to the front and probably stay there.
And they're going right now. It's a battle for the third position between Michael Waltrip and Elliott Sadler in the 38. And they're doing it the hard way. They're going on the outside.
From Michael Waltrip's car. You know, in the last 10 races run using the carburetor restrictor plates here in Daytona and at Talladega, 10 races between Michael Waltrip and Dale Jr., they've won 8 of them. Junior 5, Waltrip 3.
So what are you saying? They're pretty good on these tracks?
I'm saying that if I were calling a favorite, it'd be one of those two cars.
Jimmy Johnson currently in second spot. Looks back. Here comes Michael.
You know, here's the funny thing. We've been talking about these guys all thinking in their minds they needed to do what they could do to keep the 15 and the 8.
Boy, oh boy.
15 and the 8 are moving. Look at the guys.
Things are constantly happening, though.
Okay, if you're going to get
nobody's locked in formation like the beginning of the 500.
You're going to be selfish on this deal. If you think you're going to pull up 5 or 6 positions by getting on their bumper, they're going to do it.
Schrader back to 20th. That's too bad. See if we can climb back into it. Boy, the way they fan out in the corner there. They see again, still the concrete wall, not the safer barrier quite yet.
Changing this race to a night race. 1998 really has made a difference. It's much more enjoyable for the fans, much more comfortable for them to be in the grandstands.
I'll tell you what, it was miserable walking through the garage here today because it was so hot here at the Speedway, and it used to be the same way when they raced in the afternoon. But the lights, you're right, it's so comfortable here now.
I mean, to be fair, they used to race in the morning. That made it a little better, but yeah, definitely. I can imagine how hot.
Kevin Harvick is the race leader. Jimmy Johnson following him, and Elliott Sadler running third. Michael Waltrip and Jeff Gordon round out the top 5.
I love all the day-glow tape that they put on these cars to make them stand out.
Nothing to do with picking players for a ball team. As we go inside our Home Depot virtual garage, it's all about air.
Ooh, technology.
Here we go. We're going to try to show you what it's all about. Here's one car going through the air. You can see the air coming over the back of the car. Kind of drops down over the spoiler. When you get another car come up behind you, that air goes over both cars. It takes the air off the rear spoiler of the front car.
Oh, gee, a NASCAR fan. Yeah, I see. Yeah, night at Daytona's. I've not been yet.
Where those other two cars are not pushing as much. So.
But yeah, I imagine it's still pretty uncomfortable.
If you get 9 of those guys in a line, you can imagine how it busts the air.
Change of position in that lead group. Tony Stewart just shuffled his way around Jeff Gordon and picked up the 5th position. As you look at Kevin Harvick, who's led every lap so far.
Yeah, these camera angles, so good. That one right there, that inside camera coming off turn 4, and you just see who's hanging on and who's washing up the track there. Fox has flirted with that recently, but they really haven't committed to it.
Here and there about those who are streaking and struggling, opinions on different issues in the sport. NBCSports.com is where you'll find it.
All right, Michael going back to the top of the racetrack, trying to pick up Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s teammate in that red 8 car.
Ooh, boy.
Picking up some help from Stewart momentarily. Which lane's it going to be now? Michael moves to the inside in front of Elliott Sadler.
Casey Mears still struggling back in the 36th spot.
Those guys are doing a good job tonight keeping Michael and Junior separated.
While we're watching this for the lead, couple of updates. Rusty Wallace started 42nd. He's up to 15th. Jeff Burton started
Compton almost a lap down.
6th position. And he's made his way up to the 11th spot. Matt Kenseth started 37th. He's up to 14th. And Kurt Busch.
You're right, 05 fan. Yep. Yeah, CBS used that camera too. It's a great camera. It shouldn't have gone anywhere. Everyone should use it.
They work together and they're going towards the front. Dave, what's going on with Jimmy Johnson?
Well, VP, I just checked with his crew chief, Chad Knaus, and asked him.
I mean, this is just breathtaking. I mean, my goodness.
Running with Jimmy right now, and he said no, not at this point. He's running up front where we need him to be. He's just getting a little bit tight off of
I like the attitude of Robbie's car. It looks like it's leaned back really hard, like the nose is up a little bit.
Right now, we've talked about how pit strategy could play a big role in tonight's race, and when it comes to that, that is going to be to the detriment of Robert Yates Racing. The 38 and the 88.
We're getting single file now.
The most they can go is 36 laps, Bill.
Gordon dropping back.
Earnhardt Jr.'s car is tight. That's why he's having some trouble in this traffic. He's also driving with blisters on his hands. Even though he wore gloves in the Busch race last night, he still has blisters and calluses on his hand from that race. Tony Eury Jr. said that's really not a problem, but what might be, Jr. just called it on the radio, says, I think I have something on the grill that could lead to an overheating problem.
Ooh, we got a switch back up front.
For sure. Now, the first round of pit stops.
But Michael was trying to make something happen there.
Around lap 35.
That SpongeBob car for Jimmy is actually pretty nice. I like the different blue shades there. That's good.
We'll come back, get set up for those ever important visits to pit road.
Reminds me of the Wave energy drink car that.
Watching NASCAR on NBC.
Well, $4 hats for Napa? Right on.
Tonight's side of the Pepsi 400. It's 40.
Yeah, remember the Mike Bliss car from 2010. That was a nice paint scheme.
On hand, watching the drivers of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Our Wendy's race menu, it's on to the Windy City next week.
There you go. How about that? 2 races on broadcast, 2 on cable.
We continue to follow the race for the championship in Loudon, New Hampshire, Pocono, Pennsylvania, and Indianapolis.
See, we don't talk about playoff seeding. It's just who's wearing the points.
Was that you I heard going, oh, oh, oh?
Yeah. It was me.
Take care there, A.B. King.
Larry Ford
We'll still be going there if you want to tune in a bit later.
Coming up on green flag pit stop shortly. Kevin Harvick, the race leader.
Ooh, who's that up again? Oh, it's Michael going way high. And of course, without the safer barriers, you got a bit more track to work with, but hardly worth the impacts to the wall there.
Michael Waltrip is going inside, outside, and so is Junior. They never can get hooked up right. Wally, what were you talking about a while ago?
Just so you know, when I say we'll have it.
Oh, here we go, Larry. What happened here?
See, you locked them tires
ooh,
up.
ooh.
I was talking about earlier too in the
nice catch
beginning of the show, yeah. But that cost a lot.
Those tiny brake pedals there, or brake pads rather than plate races. Now Compton losing a lap there too. I'm sure Foyt's behind Compton by now.
The Ford machine, who's really been off the pace basically since the start of the race. You have a tech inspection problem, and you're thrashing around in the last minutes before the green just to get the car into the race. It's easy to perhaps have not everything be perfectly aligned like it should be.
All right, especially when you get caught doing something
with a fuel cell. Yeah, okay.
Take a little bit longer to get things done.
Still took a long time for them to lap Compton. It took like 32 laps to actually catch him.
My guess is 2.
Usually, in a plate race even, I mean, I'd say maybe, I mean, a lot of times following the last place thing, somebody gets lapped about 14 laps in, no matter how big the track is, or big or small. If it's Bristol, if it's Michigan or something, but
come in under the green, this thing stays green. You're going to see a lot of guys
a bit longer here. I'm thinking back to Carson Ware's incident at Talladega this year, where the big one happened right after he got lapped.
Last night, you saw cars running 50, 60 laps on fuel. Those cars had a 22-gallon fuel cell. The gas tanks in these cars tonight are about 13 gallons, give or take a half.
Okay, it is the smaller fuel cells. I thought so. It seemed like that was around this time.
About 35, 40 laps.
And the reason for that was to break up the big packs all the time.
Make them pit more often.
Craig Franklin, yes, Biffle was in the 2003 500. I don't think he failed to qualify. Did he have any sorry, there we go. DNQs that year? I don't recall. I'll check it on my phone here.
Going to make an air pressure and wedge adjustment that when he comes in, but other than that, no complaints right now. Matt?
Dave, Kevin Harvick never said a word on the radio until lap 27 when he said his car was free. His team is talking about what adjustments to make on their stop. Now that's the big question. When do they pit? They would like to pit on lap 38, maybe even stretch it to 39. The question, will they get any takers? They may have to back it up. May have to back it up to lap 37, Bill.
Jeff Gordon will be in next time. He'll pit next time. Jeremy Mayfield on pit road. Got 2 right side tires. He's on his way. Robbie Loomis told me this morning they'd be one of the first cars in. Expected to be on lap 34. Marty.
The DEI cars will pit on lap
The Vegas
37.
EDQ, okay.
Michael Waltrip says he's a little bit tight, but he wants to leave the chassis alone. Very happy with it. Very frustrated they cannot hook up together and get to the front.
Here comes another group of the leaders to pit road.
Here's what we're talking about, locking those tires up, coming to pit lane. That's going to cost these guys a lot.
A lot of them oil in the tires. Rusty Wallace is in, Jeff Gordon's in, Elliott Sadler, Ricky Craven, Bill.
Well, this is the big pack right here. Jeff Gordon on pit road. His car's been a little tight. No chassis adjustment. Just enough fuel to fill that small cell. They're going to take 4 tires on this stop. Marty.
Kurt Busch speeds off pit road. Pretty happy with his race car. A little bit tight. Half a pound.
Ryan Newman with the first pit stall. That's
trying to
interesting.
loosen him up, Dave.
Rusty Wallace now getting that wedge adjustment. 4 tires for him. Right in front of him, Ryan Newman pits as well. He also gets a chassis adjustment and 4 tires. Rusty will lead out his teammate.
Ooh, boy. Almost looped it there, right where Kitty Walsh coming by.
In the 10 car, he was really boiling the smoke off those tires, getting to pit road. They only changed 2. We'll see if.
And look, you can still merge in turns 1 and 2. They didn't have the merge rule on the backstretch yet.
Jimmy Johnson's in. Kyle Petty, Jimmy Spencer, Todd Bodine. Dave?
Well, Jimmy Johnson had been radioed in by Chad.
Yeah, Mike G. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no stages either. Oh, thank goodness. So yeah, just less, not more. That's where the sport needs to head. You know, we talked about the lawsuit a few days ago there, and I think again that's the direction we need to go. Less, not more.
They're going to do the same. Crew coming around to the left side. Windshield is clean. He is out of here.
Jimmy Spencer in the Mongo car, the Sirius car.
Todd Bodine coming down pit road, going off pit road with Jimmy Johnson. Obviously a 2-tire stop versus the 4. So, but all right, here we come.
Yep.
The DEI cars of Waltrip and Junior coming in together.
Remember, we talked about them smoking those front tires when they came in last night's NASCAR Busch Series race. That was a pretty smooth stop, Marty.
And they warned Michael Waltrip about that. Take care of the tires. Do not flat spot them coming to pit road. This will be a 2-tire stop for the 15 team. A little bit tight. No adjustments, Bill.
Chassis
Ooh, peg it. There we go.
Right side tires. They warned Junior not to slide the tires. He's on his way.
Ooh, boy, that was a tight move there.
The 18 Jag Manor tire carrier had to jump out of the way. Matt.
BP, a 4-tire change on Sterling Marlin's Dodge. A little bit of trouble on the left front. The fuel cell's packed full.
Ooh, a lot of problems.
A slow stop for Stewart. The car
Oh, he's still there.
They're trying to get it refreshed.
Oh, they stalled it. Oh, God.
The car still has not fired Tony Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go.
He pulls away as Kevin Harvick is on his way in with his teammate. The 29 is in. They wanted to try to pit with the 8 and 15. Harvick in. This should be a 2-tire change. Todd Barrier called for 2-tire change. You can hear him gunning the engine, packing the fuel cell full of fuel. To Bill.
There we go.
Pole sitter Steve Park on pit road. Chassis adjustment, 4 tires. His car's been tight. He's got fuel. He's on his way.
There we go. They're fired up.
To make up some time, he will take on only 2 tires and pack the fuel cell full.
I guess yellow means the guys who pitted, or maybe the ones that didn't. I don't know what it is.
For the moment, he is not yet
Foyt
stopped,
pitted though.
so he's out front.
And Tony Stewart evidently ran out of fuel. They were putting gasoline in their car.
They're already trying it here.
Run out of fuel.
Benny, he ran out of fuel, making his way to pit road. That's why you saw them trying to fire the engine in his pit stall.
Okay, doesn't look like a transmission issue. Yeah, just out of fuel for Stewart. 14th for Biffle.
About a half a lap behind the pack. 22 coasting in. 22's coasting in. He's out of fuel.
And that's just the most recent of his problems. He's got an overheating problem, 270 degrees last time we heard.
Ooh, that's not good.
Around to the right side.
Yeah, get all that tape off.
They got it refired. Now it shuts off again. They're going to have to push it. He's got it. He's on his way. Tough day for Ward, and it's early.
See, I'm not sure when Tony ran out of fuel, but with Ward running out of fuel coming into the pit, they had time to get the thing fired up right away. Where Tony's, it didn't look like...
Not my favorite Ward Burton paint scheme, but still pretty good.
It seems like
The 01-02 one was better, but yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
Matt, this morning when I talked to Greg Zipadelli, the crew chief, and Dave Rogers, the engineer, they had two different calculations from the final practice session. One, which was very good, and one, which wasn't. They didn't know which one to believe. They were looking to maybe go in between, but it bit them.
So Tony Stewart is now back in 41st place.
So ahead of Compton and Foyt, I would assume.
Changed positions on the pit stops.
Junior and Michael Waltrip, second and third, the two tire stop. That's what they did all during the Daytona 500. That's why it was such a shock to me when those guys started pitting and changing 4 tires.
Yeah, that me too, BP. I was surprised about that. Obviously, Robbie took 4 tires because he's right up there behind Michael Waltrip right now. Matt Kenseth.
And Michael and Junior both took 2 tires. Junior's crew got him out ahead of Michael's.
Right.
Second place, chasing Kevin Harvick in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Just over 100 miles into the 45th running of the Pepsi 400.
They are clicking through it here.
Through the first set of pit stops, Kevin Harvick's team held serve.
See, it's even now, it's not follow the leader. Even though it's single file, you got mini packs kind of breaking up here. People trying to get runs on each other.
Is evaporated and maybe gone completely.
Oh, here we go. Crowd's going to go nuts now.
Man, he has got him lined up. And Robbie Gordon, is he going to go on the outside or inside?
Well, that's what we talked about at the beginning. These guys got to work together.
Oh, so much for that. Michael goes down and helps Harvick.
Out from behind Junior.
So now Robbie's going to help Junior. What the heck?
Go with Junior along with Matt Kenseth.
Okay, Junior's teammates helping.
Yeah, so much for that.
Well, I'm sure Richard Childress is probably talking to Spotter Roger right now saying, man, go with the 29.
You know, funny dynamic between Michael and Junior. And to me, I've seen this play out already tonight. They know they've got to be in front of the other guy. They can be dedicated to pushing him to the finish all they want, but their sort of rule between them is the one that's in front is the one that's going to go, and they are fighting hard to be in front of the other guy.
There's Richard Childress right there.
Oh, and you got an interesting bunch up here. You got Bill Elliott, Todd Bodine, Mike Wallace.
With Richard on our coverage throughout the weekend about the situation between Robbie Gordon and Kevin Harvick, and he said, I went to Montana. I let them work it out.
Said he went fishing.
I don't know if that worked or not.
I don't think it did. The qualifying broadcast, you know, Robbie was completely unrepentant and didn't mind the Sears Point thing at all.
Who will overtake Matt Kenseth for the Winston Cup title?
But Harvick was still pretty upset.
The body or no one. There are the instructions.
Yeah, Marlin that lost a lot of ground. Wow. Schrader too.
In our coverage of this Pepsi 400.
Foyt's still on the lead lap.
Settling in line now in 6th position. Matt Kenseth, NASCAR Winston Cup Championship leader in that black number 17, started this race in 37th. He's up to 5th.
Well, we saw in the Busch race last night, there's a lot of cars sliding around. And some of these guys talked about they wouldn't have a good car for qualifying. They wanted a car.
Yeah, it just looks like ice coming off turn 4. Absolutely sliding up there. Like no grip at all.
To bring a car here that would be a little bit slow qualifying, but would handle well, and it looks like it's working perfectly for him. His strategy, I mean.
All right, just to go back and update, the first driver that got 4 tires on the pit stops is Elliott Sadler, running in 11th now. All the top 10 got just 2 tires on their stops. Scoring serial on Matt Kenseth, a nice steady march to the front.
I appreciate the super chats there as well. I saw those. I'll read those after the race broadcast here. And we'll do that.
Which is good. I don't know that Junior's car is It's not running warm. We heard a report earlier that he might have some water temperature problems. That might be one reason that he's diving out to the outside of the corners to try to get a little air through the grill of that car.
Ooh, Michael has a little late block there. Jimmy's going to try to stick it there. There we go. Ooh, Jimmy looking very racy out there.
This is great, isn't it? Good stuff.
Very dicey. Love it.
He's got the fender in there. He's for second place.
Ooh, nope, not clear. Not clear. 15 and 8. It's back to the 23 car again.
Harvick to block.
Yeah, Harvick's.
You know, after the pit
He's got a target on him now.
spread out. Look how the draft has pulled them all back together. Everybody in the back there getting lined up single file. They've closed right up on these front runners. Matt Kenseth on Jimmy Johnson. Fourth place.
Yeah, Jimmy, I like the Compton scheme too. It looks great.
And guess who's back in town? Robbie Gordon. He will have passed more cars.
Lion Point, thank you for your channel membership, by the way. I see you got the icon there. Excellent.
That's Kurt Busch right behind Robbie Gordon in 97.
Long term, we'll look into doing some like special icons and stuff for that. I haven't looked into that yet. I'm not sure exactly how to go about that, but I'm sure I'll figure something out.
Teams tonight, because of the specialness of this night race at Daytona, bring out the different paint jobs. Yes, that is a different look to Kurt Busch's car than you normally see. Bill, how about Earnhardt Jr.?
Just want to update that paper on the grill thing. No big issue. Not there anymore. No temperature problem. So that's not an issue with the 8 car, BP.
Okay, good.
Been monitoring Robbie Gordon's radio and his communication back and forth with spotter.
Ooh, Michael dipping down again.
This a minute ago.
I don't think it worked though.
Work in bottom when it opens up like it did a while ago. You'd have been stacked there. Be smart, Robbie. Use your head. Think about it.
Just see while we can work them at, you know.
Voice of Richard Childress, the owner. I think it's a
And who was first at the time when he said that?
Kevin Harvick?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The call was made.
The call was made. I knew he'd make it.
Ooh, Robbie is all over the place. He's going to open up Kurt, getting to the outside.
Michael Waltrip talked about this at the end of the NASCAR.
Little 15th now.
When you're running second,
Ahead of the pole sitter, Steve Park.
Because you're trying to find a way to pass the leader, but any move you make, you're going to keep the other guy from filling the hole underneath you.
You're looking in the mirror as much as you're looking out the front windshield.
52 of 160 laps are complete. Kevin Harvick has led almost all of them so far. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Just an update, as you see Lion Point's icon there. The channel membership has the same videos as the $10 level of the Patreon. It's just for if you're interested in just the bonus videos, advanced access to those videos, but you're not interested in the Patreon benefits. It's kind of a separate deal. So yeah, it is available here on this channel, but that's more of a matter of convenience there. But again, thank you very much.
Scott Dale behind him.
Ooh, boy, what a run.
Just cut right underneath that bumper, but he had the momentum. Now you watch
There we go.
Harvick tries to keep him pinned down a little bit.
He's trying. Side draft him. There we go.
So Waltrip becoming just the third different driver to lead this race tonight.
Not a lot of lead changes, but it's just really hard to...
3 of the 56 laps so far.
Ooh, 3 wide there. Wow.
Let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question, shall we?
Okay.
Test your knowledge.
Ooh, who's that looking low? I think it's Kenny Wallace looking low.
Who competed in the most races before his first NASCAR Winston Cup win?
Oh, come on. I think we all know this one.
You know what?
I know the answer too.
There it is.
They'll show him.
Michael Waltrip. He won on his 463rd race.
Daytona 500 2001. Since then, he's won the Pepsi 400 here, 2002, and the 2003 Daytona 500. Michael Waltrip tonight trying to become only the second man.
There you go. You guys got it. You're too good.
To win 3 straight races here. Cale Yarborough did it with this race in 1967. The Daytona 500.
YJ Stinger car looks great for Kenny Wallace there. The one behind Mike Wallace.
Not been done since.
Matt Kenseth, 17 car. Robbie Gordon, the 31 car. Kenseth, the 17 car, the Winston Cup Championship leader.
Yeah, Kenny was a good plate racer, Zach. You know, time and again.
Kenseth started 37th.
Certainly the second Earnhardt in 2000 he comes to mind.
Right now. Michael Waltrip is out in front of the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. You're watching.
Yeah, some good runs here and there. Maybe not the first one that would come to mind, but yeah, some good runs for Kenny.
Daytona on a spectacular night. The Pepsi 400 has been a part of Racing Americana for 45 years, and it just continues to grow and get bigger and bigger. Michael Waltrip going for his third straight win at this track. Out front. We've been waiting since Homestead in November to do this, so it's time to take you through the field, and we'll start with the 15 car.
That's right. I guess, yeah, the first NBC race of the year, too.
Michael Waltrip is glad to finally be out front, Bill. He struggled to get to the front and hasn't had his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. pushing him there all night long. We're not saying much about the car right now, pitting on lap 79, Dave.
Jimmy Johnson's crew gave him 4 tires and made an adjustment to fix a little bit tight condition when he was in last time. Now, even though he's running second, the car is...
Oh, hang on, Blaney.
Track with Dave Blaney.
Off turn 2. Looks to be a one-car incident, and the caution flag is out for the first time in the race. Dave Blaney was running in 26th place at the time of his spin.
And it doesn't look like there's any damage to the car.
If he stays out of the grass, he's got a left front flap.
It's Michael sticking his hand out there for everybody to slow down. Yeah, what a torrid pace so far.
Into was a safety feature added here at the Speedway several years back.
Yep, you're right. Yep, the third place car at Darlington.
Probably upside down.
Yep, you're right, because that pavement, at least the car stay flat when you're spinning on the pavement, but when you get in that grass and you get sideways on the grass, it usually hooks the wheels and you start rolling.
Well, the car starts bouncing up and down. He gets air underneath it and away he goes. Let's see if we can see what happened to Blaney as he came off turn 2.
Oh, he's not coming in. He needs to come in.
Up there high, you can see him way up
Well, he got
high.
tipped by...
got a little help, it looks like.
there it is, by Sprague. Sprague was washing up.
Tell who that was. Roof flaps are up, though, and that kept that car down on the ground.
And there's the pavement we were talking about.
Craig, yeah, I think TNT, I think that started in 01 with the second half of the year. It was on, you had NBC and TNT sharing that part of the schedule. TNT took over what was TBS's races.
Where you find yourself pushing really hard, especially this time of the race, and if you're down on the bottom, the car will quit turning coming out there when you're close to another car. So Jack may have
But then, yeah, the modern idea of TNT, that was a bit later, where it had like the summer series in like 08 and so forth.
Series race back in February. It happened a couple times.
Now Dave trying to lift
Yeah,
that
Dave
car
really
back
should have come
around
in that first
tires,
time.
not do any
I mean, I
further
know it wasn't,
damage. Meantime,
sure
the
pits weren't
pressure's on
open,
the
but
pit
still.
crews again. Michael Waltrip
It's
worked
risking
really hard
tearing
to
that
get
car
the lead.
up.
Let's see if his team can hold the lead on this set of caution flag pit stops.
Yeah, Sean, yes, Sprague is running the normal net zero car. Very nice paint scheme. The black and red car. Very strong scheme.
No changes, Matt.
The right side tires for Kevin Harvick on the first stop. A 4-tire change this time. No adjustments.
Yes, and this is, as Kangaroo's Wild mentioning, this is on YouTube as well.
An air pressure adjustment in the right front and also in the right rear. Team going to work.
Boy, Newman's going to get in there right before Rusty's going to take off.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was on pit road. His car was tight. 1 round up on the
Sadler leading him off. Jimmy, Harvick, Jr., Martin.
The car is just a little tight. We have to get some better track position. 4 tires, fuel, and a chassis adjustment for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, the flash bulbs are great too. 2007 was the summer series. Okay.
People get out ahead of them. We'll reset the running order for you when we come back to Daytona. Watching NASCAR on NBC. Back at Daytona International Speedway under the first caution of the Pepsi 400 after Dave Blaney got tagged by Jack Sprague and spun inside off of turn 2. After the pit stops, Elliott Sadler got off pit road first. With the championship leader Matt Kenseth, he's way in the back of the pack.
Had a little bit of a problem as Kenseth comes down pit road, trying to make up all the time he could on pit road. The brakes did not.
Oh, yeah, same brake issue. Just like Foyt. Slam that thing in reverse.
Watch this, a camera on top of the roof.
And probably the front tires locked up, didn't they, BP?
Yeah,
Or
looks like it.
Yep.
And right through his pit he went. Kenseth had worked his way up to the top 5. He's now back in 28th position. Marty?
And here's the view from Matt Kenseth's overhead camera. I will press the pause button here. Oh, we'll press it again. There you go. Okay, now they're going to do a remote control. There we go. And he barely missed his guys just by inches. You can see the orchestration here as Matt comes sliding through the pits. Look at those guys. They just jumped out of the way. That is coordination.
Heads up move.
What you call it. Matt came on the radio, apologized to his guys, said, I'm trying to get everything I can get. I came in there too hot. That was completely my fault, guys.
So Matt Kenseth now back to 27th position. Bill?
And just to update Bobby Labonte's situation, just in front of Matt Kenseth out there on the racetrack for the second time, he again got blocked in on pit road.
Yeah, I love the old CRT screen. Yeah, exactly.
Got his hand got caught up in the wheel well when Bobby took off, but he's okay. He's going to hang in there and continue changing tires. Matt, how about an update on the 40?
Sterling Marlin made a second
shorter Dodge graphic on
fender. The team
Buckshot Jones's
used
car.
The hammer and beat it out, sent Sterling out so he wouldn't lose a lap. Came back in, did some more repair work. He should be okay, but remember, this is restrictor plate racing. The bodies, the fabricators, they make these like it's an art form and it's artwork, and their artwork was damaged a little bit, but Sterling should be okay.
Getting set for the restart now. Elliott Sadler is the leader. We're following up. Believe he got 2 tires on his stop. We'll confirm that for you in a minute. Kevin Harvick is second. Jimmy Johnson third, followed by Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip.
Ooh, yeah, look at Blaney did tear up that left front fender. It's gone. There's a big chunk taken out of it there on the second car on the inside line.
They just waved off the restart, BP. Just throw that in there. Let's take a break.
Well, we got our Tony Stewart, Watkins Glen restart line here.
Sadler's now the leader of the Pepsi 400. Back under green in the Pepsi 400. Elliott Sadler, the leader, did in fact just get 2 tires on his stop. The people chasing him got 4. And here come Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick.
And look at Harvick just drive to the outside, try to drive to the outside of Jimmy Johnson. Didn't quite work.
No help. No help, BP. Doesn't have anybody with him yet.
Sadler, Johnson, Harvick, top 3. Then Earnhardt Jr., Waltrip, Martin, Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, Kurt Busch, and Kenny Wallace. Those are the top 10. Running order really jumbled up.
Yeah, really old graphic package there. I think it's why that restart line looked a little weird there.
Well, on the Discover Card Countdown to Green, we talked about how popular Dale Jr. has become not only to race fans, but to corporate America as well. Well, during that caution, he apparently didn't feel that way, making some moves out on the racetrack with Michael trying to get back to the front.
Comes Sadler.
He said he felt like a one-man band, that he didn't have a friend within 100 miles. He's about to find some in a minute.
You can hear the crowd getting fired up.
Into the lead. Earnhardt Jr. and Harvick race for second. Michael Waltrip right behind, which lane will he pick? He's trying to get behind Jr.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. Junior being a little elusive here too.
You know, Mark very openly discusses that he just doesn't care for this kind of racing, the restrictor plate brand, but his record here shows that he has success. Last 3 finishes at Daytona, 6th, 5th, 5th.
And Mark's one of the smoothest guys on any kind of a racetrack. He's also one of those guys that you love to draft with because you know he's not going to ever do anything stupid. So if you just be patient and you put your front bumper on his rear bumper, he usually finds the front.
Junior to the outside of Harvick for second.
And Michael is...
Ooh, getting really tight there in the middle. Martin and Robbie.
And for the lead.
Yeah, not quite. Junior is going to get him there. Jimmy tried to fight back.
Well, Junior has Johnson cleared, but is he going to stay out there and wait for Michael, or is he going to go down the inside?
Ooh, he's going to get in front of him. Come on. What are you waiting for? Come on. Michael's not going to get there quick enough. There you go. It's like he's trying to play both lanes.
See ya.
There he goes. Ooh, Kurt and Robbie. There's a couple hard heads there. Man, that was close. That was, ooh.
Johnson goes up the racetrack.
There we go. Now we're starting to kind of heat things up a little bit. A lot of red shirts in that that crowd there. You better believe it.
Down below the line, Steve Park and Jimmy Johnson.
So think things got jammed up there about 12th place.
Kurt Busch was given a warning about going down below the line. Wondered if they confused his car for Steve Park. They kind of look alike this weekend.
Kurt was definitely flirting with it when he went to 3.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just love me an ooh roll. Ooh, he went below the line.
I tell you, that 29 Goodrich car is a very good race car because he almost took over second spot by himself.
Yeah, I agree, BP. And that there again, I think if 31 ever gets with Kevin, those guys will be, and there you go. Robbie is now behind the 29 car. So we'll see if those guys stick together and make
Yeah, a warning. Isn't that great? I guess it didn't fully go below the line. It was close. It was close.
All right, let's go back and look at some of this wildness a moment ago off turn 4.
Robbie went up the racetrack.
Oh, Jimmy was dead sideways. Oh, and Robbie almost wrecked. Wow.
Completely sideways.
Trouble off turn 2. Is this the big race?
Oh, no, Kurt. Robbie is in it. Oh, that sucks. Craven's in it. And look at Biffle just snaked by getting past Robbie on the inside.
Is that Kurt Busch?
Kurt Busch sitting sideways across the track through the smoke.
Kurt Busch, was that Mike Wallace? No, that's Park. Oh, wow. I don't know how they didn't wreck in that tri-oval there. That's such a hairy part there. Jimmy and Robbie did a great job missing each other. Unfortunately, Robbie gets swept up in this one.
7th spot. Elliott was in 4th.
Oh, that sucks. There's the 500 pole winner car.
He really needed a good run tonight.
They have.
Mike Wallace is in it.
Mike Wallace.
Ton of damage to that one. Interesting bit of yellow decal on the left rear there.
Remember all the track position he
Just
lost
keeps somebody
last time,
from
put him right in the
wrecking
danger
him just
zone
like
for
this.
Getting caught up in something like that.
Yeah. Dodged the bullet.
Got to be lucky to win one of those championships.
Yes, you do.
I'll tell you. Wow, look at the damage in the front of Robbie's car.
Yeah, that sucks. Robbie had a great car.
Backside.
Maybe not a winning car, but at least a top 5 car.
Let's see what we got here. Uh-oh, we
Oh,
got
Kurt
somebody
just
spinning
lost
down
it.
there. Steve, right in front of Robbie. Is that Steve? No.
That's Kurt. That's the first race for the Irwin Tools car again, and he ends up.
And look at that. I mean, these guys can't even
Oh.
see where they're going.
Oh, and Robbie spins right in front of Park.
Guys got caught up.
I think McMurray got in it too. Looks like that was the car on the outside.
Look at Terry Labonte come through, right through the smoke.
Biffle goes between 2 cars.
Wow.
For Steve Park. Cars just spin up directly in front of him.
What was that?
It was Ward in a hurry to get back on track, but McMurray with damage to the left front. Let's see, where's... Oh, right in 3rd, yeah. Maybe lost the right rear, left rear. Something got soft there and just pulled him around.
And he didn't have a car close enough to really get the air off the spoiler, so it wasn't that.
Oh, man, Robbie just got plowed into by Mike Wallace, and it was on.
From the medical center, because that was unusual.
Oh, all the sparks coming off 31 there. Wow.
Gordon, no place to go. He's got his woes
Park's
best
slowing
he can,
down.
but
And he gets hit.
gets hit from Mike Wallace.
Just nothing they could do. They checked up great. They did a great job checking up.
This last night in the Busch
But
race, we had some
they
guys
just couldn't do
that
it.
their
Mike
tires,
Wallace got into him and it was on.
Tires went down, and we saw some spin outs like that. But fortunately, last night
And Schrader
they
picking
didn't
through.
collect 10 or 12 cars.
Park made contact with Burton. Burton kept going. Jeff Burton did.
All those tires all look up.
Heavy damage to the nose of Craven's car.
We'll go on board with the singular car. Robbie Gordon. Listen.
Yeah. So he's doing everything he needs to do. That night clear low. He couldn't really go anywhere. Just got plowed into. Man, oh man, that sucks. It's one thing if it's just like it just happens, nothing to do, but they were trying. They were really trying.
You get down on that apron like that, you're going to tear your car up.
At 180 something miles an hour, you can't just hang that left turn necessarily.
Right, so he figured he'd stay there and hopefully that car would disappear in front of him. What's going on down there, Marty? Can they tell us what happened with the 97 car?
Wally Kurt came on the radio right after the spin finished happening and said the right rear went down on me. I had no control of the race
there it
car.
is.
The right rear tire is sitting in the back of Kurt Busch's pits. It is completely destroyed beyond recognition, so we'll never be able to know if there was a cut or what happened, but Kurt said it was the right rear just went
still
down
rolling.
and he lost control of the car.
Let's take a ride on board through this with Kurt Busch.
Well, let's see if we can.
Yep, came in a little late.
When they go that fast, when they spin that fast, normally it is a tire going down. What do you think, BP?
Oh, that hit the ear side. Oh, there goes Biffle squeezing through.
Yeah, that car went around pretty quick.
Wow, wow.
See Kurt's back on the track as he's been through pit road once already, but obviously Jimmy Fennig and the crew got some more work to do before they can get him.
Probably get down on that apron and move the fender on top of the tire.
Let's go back and check out that replay one more time and start a little earlier. See if we can hear a tire going down.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. I didn't hear a pop. Oh, man, that second hit there. Wow.
Thank goodness for replays, huh?
So got 7 cars involved in this. Robbie Gordon, Kurt Busch, Steve Park, Ricky Craven, Joe Nemechek took some damage, as did Jamie McMurray and Mike Wallace.
Let's get out the sledge and try to pop that thing back out.
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been 20.
Craven would end up being your last place finisher for this race, incidentally. The 11th last place finish of his career among those drivers swept up in it. And you can see him stuck in the high lane there behind, looks like Terry Labonte. And yep, Terry moved to the middle and he couldn't quite get there. And wow, Mike Wallace was pretty far behind when he plowed into that. It's a little disappointing there.
For a 7-car wreck off turn 2. This is on board with Jimmy Johnson.
3 wide, bud. 3 wide. All right, buddy. You'll be on one side when you get around here. 2 wide. 1. Oh, it's made in front of you. Go low, buddy. Go low. Come on.
Oh, Goose Flat Water Fowlers. Again, thank you for your comment there as well. When am I going to do another episode of 500 Days? I was going to save this for after the show, but I'll go ahead and mention it now. I'll mention it again after the here. I have, in lieu of doing a standalone video for Biffle, my next episode of 500 Days just happens to, by complete accident, includes Biffle's first Busch win at Nashville Superspeedway in 2001. So I'm going to move that ahead of the other video I had planned and push towards getting that one done. So that's what I'm going to be working on. It'll probably won't be done till January, but that's, yeah, I hope to have that one done. It's a very big episode, but I think this will help push that over the top. So that's what I'm working on.
Would have caught that and kept the car from over-revving.
Hey, old SpongeBob's been getting some rides the last couple of days.
Yeah. Let's check our NASCAR Busch Series update. They ran 250 miles here at Daytona last night. Dale Earnhardt Jr. led every one of them en route to the victory. Dominating performance. Championship standings are thrilling. 2 points.
Look at that.
To David Green, 84 to
Don't need the Cup guys in the field for that. A legendary Busch Series championship battle.
Eastern. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series ran at Kansas City this afternoon. Congratulations to John Wood. Next generation of the famed Wood Brothers team, his first series win. The Roush Fords sweeping the top 2 spots. Their championship race, just as great.
Yeah, pretty close, yeah. Well, of course, yeah, the way that championship ended. I mean, the Homestead track being reconfigured and then having Kenseth lock up the Cup championship at Xfinity, Busch and Truck being that close. Tremendous.
Your votes have been tabulated.
Only 6% were right.
Seems like folks are figuring on Dale Jr.
How about
Junior.
How about Dale Jr., Bill?
Well, say it out there as you mentioned, Alan, and the reason is they simply are not in their fuel.
Bears or Packers, just a chat. Neither. I'm a Bills guy. Whoop, one of my lights went out here.
See what happens between now and then.
That's okay. We'll do it under the other light here, and we'll work our way through.
The restart rule, the big white block, is that the leader should restart the race in the vicinity of that area.
So we should be past the halfway point. There's Compton's lapped car to the inside. Oh, yep, just on the halfway lap.
they get up to speed, let's update you on a couple things. Several of the front runners did not pit under this caution. You heard Bill reporting on Dale Jr., Michael Waltrip, Elliott Sadler, Kevin Harvick, Mark Martin did not pit under the caution flag. Several did, including Jeff Burton. He's in 9th place. He heads the guys who stopped. That's where they'll take this restart. A number of cars came in and topped off the fuel on the 1-to-go signal. Terry Labonte, Greg Biffle, Ricky Rudd, Ward Burton, Ken Schrader, Kyle Petty, Kurt Busch has been in several times, as you can
puff of
expect.
smoke or something ahead of these guys. Oh, there is somebody coming down pit road with some kind of issue.
Matt, what's going on with the 29 car?
Benny, a lot of debate under that caution for Kevin Harvick. They were doing the math. They needed one more lap.
Yeah, it looks like a car on pit road. I don't know who that was. I don't know if Craven tried to come back out or something.
Kevin wanted to chance it. Todd Barrier said, Kevin, a lap is still a lap. We'll never make that up. Bill?
Jeff Gordon didn't care about fuel mileage. He thought he might have left front damage, so he came down pit road, got 4 tires in fuel. Robbie Loomis, his crew chief, said the car
Here
is
comes
fine.
Rusty on the
That
rally here. Nemechek back at 40th. Maybe it was Nemechek there. I didn't see what damage he got, but he must have. They said he picked up something.
Rusty had a pretty good run going. I think Jeff saw that. And
Ooh, getting a little tight up high.
Got the push.
Kenseth still sticking the nose in there to get around Jarrett.
Great push, and I can't believe Kenseth just drove up on the outside of Dale Jarrett up in turn
Newman's
3.
still in the mix.
On the outside of the UPS car. Now he's got some help from the 12 of Ryan Newman. Hard to believe Ryan Newman's still running. We're halfway. He's had terrible luck at the super speedways this year here in Talladega.
Yeah, remember he got upside down here during the Daytona 500. At Talladega was involved in that nasty wreck earlier.
Yes, Sean, that is an R&D car for Joe Gibbs. That 80 of Mike Bliss. There's also the 60 of David Green for Hendrick. So both big teams had that coming together.
And it will be none of these guys you're seeing on the camera right now.
GN NASCAR fan. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. It was like this for sure. And hopefully we get something like this. I like to think that there's a lot of possibilities going forward here in the sport. So we'll see how things go. Yeah, not the It's not the Stanton Hoover car there for the 80. No relation. This would have been another 80 number out there.
Well, I think with Kevin Harvick back here, he's not going to sit and ride and wait.
No.
You know, he wants to get to the front. He knows he's got to get to the front. So I think the first opportunity he sees, he's going to try to make a move, and hopefully he'll have, well, there he goes. There you go.
Harvick to the top. Who's going with him?
He's got to have some help.
Yeah, nothing there. Harvick's got a very, very strong car, but just can't get anything going.
Elliott Sadler, Jimmy Johnson, all choosing to stay tucked up behind Michael Waltrip.
Everyone is choosing the DEI cars to hang with.
I don't understand that. Marty, you got Robbie.
They just want to shuffle Harvick out, probably.
What happened, Robbie?
Craven 38.
Plate racing, you know, Kurt lost it in front of me. I had it saved. You know, not that I ever got loose.
McMurray in last. Wow, I guess all these guys managed to get back
And
out.
someone creamed me from the back. So that's what I hate about these places. You know, you can kind of be a victim of circumstance at times. We were just riding around. We're going to lose a lot of points. It's going to be a disappointing week for us.
Did you see a tire go down on Kurt's car?
No, I didn't see a tire go down. I just saw him get on the apron. There was nothing shredding at that point, but is that what happened?
That's what he said, yes.
That or he drove on the apron, one of the two.
All right, see you in Chicago.
Bye.
Robbie Gordon out of this Pepsi 400.
Boy, they just hung out Kevin Harvick.
Boy, they did.
See, there you go, shaking him out. It's a good strategy because he's got such a good car.
And there's Jeff Burton.
Of course, he'll probably work his way back up there.
I think he can make it the rest of the way.
On to one more pit stop.
Yep, one more stop. Well, the leaders are going to have to stop twice.
Burton has lost some ground since the last restart, BP. About 6 positions. Let's see, Harvick shuffled back to 5th.
Yeah, Robbie always very outspoken. But I can't blame him for being disappointed. Just won the most recent race 2 weeks before this at Sears Point. Seemed to have a good car in this one. Made a pretty amazing save in the tri-oval, and then, yeah.
Harvick has been hard to pass when he's been out in front.
Kenny Wallace up to 8th, good for him. Spencer in 11th.
They come down pit road, and his own teammate is beating him off pit road.
David Green, 13th in the Hendrick car, the Hendrick Haas deal.
And again, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew has been under a lot of heat, a lot of pressure the last year because a couple of times they failed him when it come time to win the race.
Biffle in
Tonight,
24th.
they're doing the job. Martin losing the spot to Jeff Gordon, I believe.
And Michael's in the same spot he was last night in the Busch race. And like he said after the Busch race, man, it is a lot of work running second place. And that's what he's going through right now.
Ken Schrader off the pace.
Oh, Schrader.
He might have cut down a right front tire.
Well, I like the reflective numbers there. They made that really pop.
Wrong under the right front corner of his car because he started showing a lot of smoke, got up out of the way, and started slowing down.
That sucks.
Had a mechanical failure, or he's got a problem in the right front corner. Earnhardt Jr.
Kenny Wallace still staying in that pack. Look at that. 6/10 back. It's still at the tail end of that lead group.
Kevin Harvick has led 53, but right now it's
See if he can hang on.
Jr. leading NASCAR's Independence Weekend celebration. The All-American boy. His red, white, and black car out in front. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s hold on the lead being challenged.
Oh, there we go. Sadler dropping back.
Johnson try to ride the high line around Daytona.
I thought Johnson had him off turn 2, but Junior somehow fought back down the back stretch and retook the lead.
Not over yet. Kevin Harvick trying to
Still working on him.
Earnhardt Jr.'s teammate Michael Waltrip behind him, and that black car with the gold numbers on the inside, that's Kenny Wallace fighting for third spot.
Atta boy, Kenny. There you go.
How about that draft with Harvick and Johnson, Dave?
Well, that might be a great idea. Earlier, I picked up a radio transmission from Jimmy Johnson that said, hey, the 29 just left me out to dry. I helped him earlier. And just a few moments ago, they were talking about hooking up to Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, no commercials in this one. We're doing the NASCAR Classics page here. No tires, just gas. But we'll be doing this here for that and catching up on it.
Again at Talladega, Kevin Harvick tried doing a deal with Jimmy Johnson. Johnson said he'd go with him, and then he hung him out. So it was payback time. Now Kevin Harvick is trying to get somebody, himself or Johnson, in between the 8 and 15. They feel like that's the only way you can beat the DEI guys is to get between them. That's the strategy now.
How about Spencer? He drove through that crash earlier.
Yeah, Spencer looking great. 94 winner this race.
And now you've got Jeff Gordon up there, so you've got Gordon and Jimmy Johnson as teammates.
Ooh, almost squeezing him up there. Harvick just... Every time I see Harvick make that move up high, I think of his winning pass here in the 2007 Daytona 500. He's just trying the same thing.
They don't forget about when you get hung out.
Practicing it plenty of times.
Oh, yeah, well, now you come back, you remember the guys that helped you and stuck with you.
We didn't like the commercials back. GN NASCAR fan, excellent question. Did we dislike the commercials back then? Yeah, we didn't like them. I think around this time, at least in the early 2000s, I think the Cause and Jaws page started. The guy on J-Ski that calculated how many minutes of commercials versus how many of race broadcasts. People were not liking them that much. It was kind of a tricky time because you still had really good commercials, the ones where the drivers were featured in them, and every time at Daytona there would be some great ones that you would always enjoy, but they would just get played over and over again. It was moving away from where we had been in the 90s, where you had these like just downright cozy auto parts commercials. You look at these old like Die Hard commercials or what was it, like Napa Auto Parts and stuff like that. They were great ads, but yeah, I think in the early 2000s it was starting to step up a bit. People were splitting hairs about how many minutes of commercials there were. I think Cause and Jaws still does that, I think, because it seems like I haven't looked at that in a while, but I remember that seemed to start back in the early 2000s. Excellent question.
To his teammate Michael Waltrip, who's riding in second right now, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, Sean, I think they postponed their Suzuka show. It was going to be on Thursday, and then of course with what happened, they pushed it back. I don't know when that is. That I would check with their Twitter account to see what the update is.
Jimmy, let's just ride. He says, I'm thinking the same. Bill?
Commercials were more creative back then, yeah.
Last caution to get 4 tires and check possible damage. No damage, and the 4 tires are really starting to pay off. That's what he told.
A lot of Chevys just downright fast.
Kevin Harvick just jumped in front of Jeff Gordon, now up to 4th.
Oh, look, Kenny Wallace is right there. Very good run for Kenny. I forgot he was this good in this. I remember doing an internship the summer of this race and looking up the qualifying results on my break.
They don't want to make any changes when they do come down pit road. Kenny's having a great time tonight singing on the radio.
Yeah, seeing this
Jimmy
one.
Spencer having a great run too. Has made few changes on that car tonight. Little arrow push, little tight. He just missed that big that wreck off of turn 2. They came in, put on 4 tires, no changes. Bill?
Former Daytona 500 winner Ward Burton has virtually come from nowhere. Remember, he ran out of gas earlier in this race in turn 3.
That's right.
Push start the car. Then he thought he had a vibration. That went away. Now he's right up there inside the top 10. Good run for Ward again at Daytona, Marty.
Bill, Matt Kenseth sits in the 9th position, and if he wins this championship, he'll look at this night. He almost knocked down his pit crew members, barely missed the wreck.
Stephen Nass winning Snowball Derby. Congratulations to him. Yeah, I want to kind of know what Kenny's singing too. I don't know.
Rounding out the top 10 is 3-time Daytona winner Sterling Marlin. On 3 separate occasions, they have worked on that left front fender. It is good, but the car is still tight because of it. They're going to work a little more on their next stop, Alan.
And we're about to hit the 250-mile mark in the Pepsi 400. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads. So far, 2 caution flags have slowed the night. Green flag pit stops coming up for the front runners, and on the lead lap, 33 of the 43 starters. Let's keep going through the field. Dave?
Alan, tonight for Ryan Newman, one big
No, Steve Park in last place. McMurray got back on track.
Just a little while ago, and
This would have been great to use the free track pass that weekend to track what was happening at the back of the field there. Which of those 7 cars involved are coming out of the garage area. Yeah, I like the blue number on the 12 too. That's not bad. Because it had those blue accents. Whoop, there goes the other light.
We talked earlier about the fact that this isn't one of Mark's favorite things.
My batteries here don't seem to last very well. I think I didn't recharge them after our last show, after the lawsuit show. So I can still see myself okay on the show, so I think it'll be good. This is more of a different show anyway.
They're looking and thinking about using the bottom lane. His chassis has been better since they've been working at it all night. It's been tight. He's just trying to find the fast way around to pick up a 5th win, Bill.
Nice solid run.
58 laps to go.
Good to see him running toward the front of the field. A lot of times he runs in the back of the pack of these restrictor plate races for the first half or 3/4 and tries to move himself forward. His renewed
Bobby's working. Look, he's going to get around Mark.
And Michael McSwain, his
there we go.
Running up front.
Very good.
Hey, what? That 18 slicing and dicing right now. Man,
Yeah, looking really good.
And let's check out.
Look, you got Kenny Wallace getting raced by Jimmy Spencer.
Earnhardt Jr. hanging on to the top spot, but behind him, well, here they come to pit road. Leaders coming in.
And Junior smoking those tires.
There's Stewart. There's
Jimmy Johnson
others back there.
Michael Waltrip, Ryan Newman.
Big tire mark on Jimmy's car from that incident with Robbie, most likely.
Marty.
I just asked Slugger Labby, why are you coming in 2 laps early? He said our strategy is not working out. Our fuel mileage advantage is not going to pay off tonight, Bill.
Junior couldn't believe he had to come in right now, but that was the opening of their window. They got to lap 104. Dave.
SpongeBob is in with Jimmy Johnson. 4 tires for him. No changes to the car this time. A little slow on the left rear, and now he's out of here.
Oh, man. He may lose the captain partner on that deal, although
He's got Newman there.
Right there.
Ryan and Jimmy got 4 tires. The other guys, the other 4 in front of them got 2.
Goes Harvick. I like that tiny little grill there, the lower grill there, with very about as little opening as possible. Seems like a lot of Childress cars did that.
I don't think they're close enough to pick up a draft.
I know Robbie's looked like that earlier. Man, that shark fin is huge.
And they lost their drafting partner, Robbie Gordon, in that crash. 2 tire change this stop. No adjustments for Kevin Harvick. Trying to pick up his first restrictor plate win. They packed the fuel cell full. He nods it's full, and Harvick's down and away.
Yeah, Harvick punching it hard there, getting out of those pit stalls.
You see, normally the signal for these drivers to leave the pit area is when the jack drops. But now they're getting the car down, and the pit crew, the crew chief is telling him on the radio when to go. Right. That way he's able to rev the engine up and get the car really moving fast.
And when they drop the car.
Oh, is Jeff Gordon coming in by himself?
That helps put more fuel in the car.
Jeff Gordon heading for pit road. Kenny Wallace will come in. Ward Burton takes over the lead as we follow Gordon to the attention of his crew. Bill?
And Jeff Gordon brings it to a stop. They wanted it.
Yeah, I don't remember this paint scheme being so nice, but it's really nice. That blue and gold looks gorgeous.
Coming around to the left side again. It's going to be 4 tires, and I believe the reason for this is Jeff said he felt the benefit of the 4 tires.
It almost looks green from some angles, but definitely gold. Yeah, right there from the back.
That's good pit stops.
Yeah, Austin. See what I'm saying? It's nice.
I thought he lost a couple seconds trying to get out of his pit stop.
Yeah, no, he definitely. And the pit stop was great, but that's why these guys rev him up, because when they get going, they got to spin the tires, and it helps them leave the pits because these first gears are so tall in these cars.
Ward Burton, the 22 car, is the leader, but look who's trying to take
comes
the lead
Kenseth.
away. The 17 car of Kenseth. Wouldn't it be something if he started 37th and got 5 bonus points for leading the lap?
Oh, the 5 bonus points. That needs to come back.
Tail, he may just get those points, BP.
Boy, Mongo is chasing him hard.
Jimmy Spencer in that 7 car. Mark Martin is on pit road, and he's in by himself. I'll tell you what, if a lot of these guys start to check out the pit road all at once in this big pack, it could get really hairy on the race.
Yep.
It's amazing how well everybody's doing to keep it clean here with so many different pit strategies working out.
So he's got the 5 bonus points.
There you go. If you're not familiar with
Biffle to 12th. Buckshot Jones to 14th. Sprague to 15th. Foyt to 17th. Bliss in 18th.
Most laps in the race. You collect another 5
And Jeff Green, or David Green, excuse me, in the top 20.
Remember, Alan, they pitted a little bit later than most of the other teams did. They pitted on lap 75. They can actually go as far as lap 117. The problem is he's worked great tonight with Ward Burton. They've come up through the field together. Ward can only go to 116 to look for those 2 cars to come to pit road about the same time.
Well, that's the problem. That leaves 44 to go.
That's right.
Too many. I don't know if they can run that many laps.
Beginning to close up on some of the cars who just made pit stops and are trying to come back up to speed. Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, and Jeff Gordon. So Gordon right now on the tail end of the lead lap. Matt Kenseth right behind him. You know, Matt Kenseth really has a remarkable record so far this season. Through the 16 races that have been run, he has finished all but 1 possible lap.
And you know
That's
what?
incredible. I mean, again, see, this is another myth from that season. Nobody was bored of Matt Kenseth winning this championship. Like, yeah, you saw that poll earlier where everybody thought, well, somebody else is going to catch him. But see, that's the thing. Everybody thought someone else was going to catch him. Nobody thought, oh, my God, he's unstoppable and nobody can beat him and doesn't this suck? I don't remember that at the time. You know what I remember? I remember Marty Smith making a bet that he was going to dye his hair blue if Ford won the championship. And then, of course, he won this championship. Like, okay. And they were talking about whether it was going to be Carolina Blue or something else. Because I remember reading the power rankings on NASCAR.com back then, and that was always a fun read. The team-by-team angle was kind of something like what I like to do now with my stuff.
He's going to be their partner. They wanted Jeff Burton to come at the same time, but Burton can't stay out this long. Marty.
Bill, like BP said, if they pit on 116, that'll be 44 laps to go. I just asked Robbie Reiser, can you go all the way from that point? He said no, but we're close. Yesterday we ran 40 laps in half the hour, and there was a gallon and a half of fuel left in the fuel tank. That would put them right on the edge of it, but when you're running for a championship, you can't risk it, Bill.
I mean, it's just like a race. I mean, this is what people keep forgetting, is that a championship is just like a race. It doesn't need to have a bunch of, if you put a bunch of artificial cautions in it, it's not going to feel like a good race, you know, and then just line up the top 4 side by side for 1 lap. You know, it's like, come on, no.
That's 11 laps later than the
It's
cars
insane.
have already been in. Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and so forth.
You'll have a race where a guy they hit on the right setup and they dominate and all that. But do they always win? No. I mean, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the car falls apart, bad luck, bad pit stop. Yeah.
You're watching NASCAR on NBC. What a great sight.
Spencer in 3rd.
Speedway at night. And the 45th running in the
Yeah,
Pepsi
same thing with
400,
DJ 99, Elm Street. Yeah, exactly.
For better than 160,000 NASCAR fans.
And, you know, again, there was more respect for other people in the points. If you were like Bobby Labonte, for example, 4th in points coming into this race, they would say, wow, you're having a really good year. He hadn't won yet to this point. But nobody was giving him crap about that because they were like, oh, well, hey, he's looking really good. He's really consistent. He's staying up there. That's the important thing.
Then Greg Biffle, Buckshot Jones, Ricky Rudd, Jimmy Spencer, and Kyle Petty. And now Jimmy Spencer is on pit road as Labonte chases Kenseth.
They were bobbing out there on the 17.
Dave Burns, let's cover Jimmy Spencer's stop.
2 tires and no changes, Alan, for him. The admonition coming down pit road, pump your brakes, make sure they work. They did. They also said when the jack drops, you go. They're trying to get a little bit more fuel in there, though, see how far they can go, and he's gone.
46 to go is probably asking a little too much.
Can't do it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the infield does look very dark.
Sounds like Matt's coming in. Trying to get the 99, it sounded like, to lead a lap. He's got to get by Bobby first.
Bobby's one of his rivals for the championship.
And again, as we mentioned earlier, no safer barrier, so you get a lot more room for people to wash way up the track in turn 1 and turn 3.
His 16th. Might not be worth giving Jeff 5 points if Bobby gets him. All right, here are the guys who stopped already, the previous leaders. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kevin Harvick and Michael Waltrip have got back together in the draft.
Ooh, boy, Marlin throwing the block there.
And you see how far they are behind Matt Kenseth.
Kyle Petty in 9th, good for him. Buckshot Jones at 7th. Oh, it was Mayfield there, okay.
And Kenseth peeling off from turn 4 and heading for pit road. 44 to go.
Man, I don't know.
They're going to try. What do you think, Marty?
Well, Wally Robbie Reiser told me that earlier today that a win or a top 10 tonight would be just like a win for these guys. It's going to be 2 tires and no change for Matt Kenseth. They're very happy with the car, Bill.
It's 2 right side tires for Warren Burton as well.
Yeah, you got to split it up here again.
The 22 follows them. The plan was to pit together.
Trying to pay more attention to this pit strategy at the end is definitely a factor. There's Buckshot there coming out with the other, the Dodge of Warren Burton and the Ford of Kenseth.
But Jeff Burton now is the guy that might gamble and try to make it.
Robbie in 42nd, Park still shown in last. But I do have the stats saying that Craven was last, so Park must have come back out really late in this. Park had a ton of damage. I can't imagine, even under those old rules, of him getting back out there, but I guess he did. He's had a really durable car. I didn't like Burton's 03 scheme as much. It's not bad. I think 01, 02 was a little better. The white roof looked better, and I think they did that in 02. This one was it's all right. Coming into this race, Burton already knew Sitko was not coming back next year, and indeed, when they started the 2004 season, the 99 did not have a sponsor. They had to get sponsored by the NBA All-Star Game because NBC was doing the 500, and they had a deal with TNT for that. And then had a lot of racers that didn't run with a sponsor, or Hot Wheels came on at Darlington, and there were some other one-offs there. And then, of course, that led to Burton leaving the team and Carl Edwards taking over. But that's a whole other story in 04.
Alan's doing math.
No, I'm not doing math. I just want to check when he stopped.
Check it out, 75.
That's what I'm looking at. I don't see the number.
Biffle to 3rd, highest he's been all night.
18 here.
Easily. Like that platinum car on the 1. That looks nice. That silver car looks great. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He stopped on the 1 to go.
I mean, I'm a very much a traditionalist with yellow Pennzoil cars, especially back in the day, but I still view Michael Waltrip's as kind of a separate genre from the shell Pennzoil ones like Harvick and Logano have run, and Allmendinger and Kurt and so forth. But yeah,
So he can make it the rest of the way.
Here he comes, Bill.
You bet they can make it. And they've got great coaching going on from the top of that pit box with Michael McSwain. Bobby Labonte on pit road looking for a win here at Daytona. Around to the right side. They put on the 2 right
boy,
side
be really
tires.
careful getting that tear off. There you go.
They're going to pack it full of fuel. They get the nod from the gas man, and Bobby Labonte is on his way.
Here comes his brother. Right
There's
behind
Biffle.
him.
And Greg Biffle, another car that can probably make it the rest of the way.
There we go. And look at that. Right there with Bobby Labonte, one of the favorites to win. What are we talking here? 44 to go? Still? 43? Look, there's that yellow bit of tape on the 21 also, just like we saw on Mike Wallace. I wonder, and those were both had black rear bumpers. I wonder if that was there so they just didn't get turned around or something. It's really noticeable.
So Junior has
Anybody else notice that? I thought that was interesting.
But he's got to stop again.
Yeah, the roundup schemes were nice. Raider 63, yeah, I agree.
Boy, oh boy, 40 laps to go in this
Okay,
one.
yeah, 40 to go.
100 miles left left in the Pepsi
Still under green. Been green since what? 80 to go? It was like basically halfway. Oh no. Yeah. Right? Because we had the wreck right before halfway.
Michael Waltrip to third.
Or Kenny Wallace is stuck in the middle of the pack now.
Behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Greg Biffle. Bobby Labonte
See where he is running.
getting shuffled back. Check our Walmart race.
Down to 30 to go? How long was that commercial break?
Last driver to win both Daytona.
They have a 10-lap commercial break there? That's strange.
Bobby Allison, 1982.
Ninth for Kenny Wallace. Okay, no, he didn't fall that far back. And now he's back with Todd Bodine. Todd was very fast in the 500, at least in the duels. I think he got a top 5 in his duel race that year. I remember because he had the Shuttle Columbia logo on his car after the Columbia tragedy in February. Biffle to second.
Harvick is short one thing.
Help.
Yeah, nobody helping Harvick this entire night. He's got to be beside himself. And now both his teammates got wiped out in the big wreck, so he's still not going to get any help from him. He's not to say his teammates haven't been helping the DEI guys. I know that, yeah, I was mentioning earlier in the chat about them being Chevy technical partners, but still.
At the moment, the Roush teammates all started pretty far back.
All right, folks, come down the last 28 laps. 2003 Pepsi 400 Daytona.
Good job so far tonight, Alan. Of course, Daytona Beach is Mark Martin's hometown, and just down the road in New Smyrna Beach, he built a racetrack for little ones to race on. Where his son
Look
Matt
again,
races
Ford. Look again.
Bandoleros, Legends cars, and quarter midgets at the track that Mark spent the money to build himself. Matt is just 12 years old, and already Ford has signed him to a contract. Talk about your NASCAR youth movement. If you haven't looked at Ford,
Yeah, you're right, 05. They probably had a brief break and just took it out. But yeah, that still seemed like a lot of time to cover, but still interesting.
Bill, with Tony Uri Jr., you're leading, but I don't think you're winning.
No, we're definitely not winning. We're in a bad situation right now, and we're going to try to make the best of it. The 18th kind of was in, luckily, he was back there towards the back of that wreck, and we got like 4 of them that can make it. We're not going to be able to make it, so I'm going to stop here and put 2 tires on it. Hopefully, these guys have to stop if the caution comes out, but caution's the only thing that we got going for us, you know.
If hold a second, my goodness, right there behind Earnhardt.
Tony, looking back, you probably should have come under that caution period.
Well, we couldn't make it. That's the whole reason we didn't fit. We lacked like 4 laps.
And there we go, Craven back out. Robbie in last place still.
There's no benefit to do it, so you know, we're just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and this is what we got dealt.
And I need a little luck.
Yeah, need a little luck. We've had a lot of it this year. Can't complain. You know, Daytona's been great to us, and you know, we'll just take what we can get out of here.
Okay, they couldn't stop under the caution.
Kenny Wallace 9th. Still,
anyway,
Spencer
so
10th. Bobby 11th, looking to stretch it to the finish with Biffle. I don't know how Biffle got ahead of Bobby Labonte here with him up to second, and Bobby, because I thought Biffle was behind Bobby leaving pit road. But either way, it's worked out great for him.
Really worked together great this year.
It shows.
And it does show.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. third in the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship standings, coming into tonight's race, 176 points behind Matt Kenseth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning this race in 2001. What a memorable night that was. But right now he's in a bad spot, as you heard Bill and Tony Jr. say.
There's damaged Blaney and Kurt getting lapped there again.
Expecting Earnhardt Jr. in somewhere around lap 140.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to cram all their brakes in. They probably anticipated getting a bunch of cautions here, but it's been a very clean race, except for that one big wreck.
NASCAR's All-American Stock Car Racing celebration underway at Daytona International Speedway. Fireworks all weekend long here, both on and off the track. It's the Pepsi 400 being led by Dale Earnhardt Jr., and we're about to hit the 350-mile mark of the race. The little challenge for third spot here. On the move on the outside comes Jimmy Johnson. And Greg Biffle with a big wiggle off turn 2.
Ooh, boy, he's really loose. He's getting swarmed here now by these guys, Michael and Jimmy, Harvick. I mean, the Chevys have just had their way with this. Oh, and there's Craven limping around on the apron. So Craven did come back out, but man, he's like going, it's like he's going walking pace out there. Here come the leaders. There's Craven still back there. Ooh, interesting.
But Waltrip is going to pit first, so he has to slow down for his pit stall, and Earnhardt Jr. continues on. Here comes Ryan Newman, several cars. Marty.
Kowalczyk very happy with the car, very upset about the fuel strategy. However, they're going to do the best they can. There'll be no changes again. 2 tires stalls it a little bit, Bill.
Sadler in, looks like. Newman, Mears, looks like Stewart, Rusty.
And Dale Jr. beat him out again.
Yes, he did.
His 3rd time tonight. So how do they play out against the guys who have not stopped?
Well, Biffle's going to be out there the lone dog, I think. When all these guys start peeling off, he is in a good position. He's second on the racetrack.
Here comes Harvick.
The guys
Harvick again, yeah.
are going to be in the draft, and they may catch and pass them.
Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Kenny Wallace, Todd Bodine all pitting here. Matty.
And Kevin Harvick coming in. They're going to make a 2-tire change. Harvick says the car had gone to the loose side. They're going to back up on the adjustments they made in the last stop. As soon as the tires are on, they're going to drop the jack, and he's gone, Bill.
Boy, Harvick just absolutely maximizing his pit stops by his pit exits here. Very impressive. Like a Kyle Busch-like. I mean, Kyle always mastered like entering pit road. But Harvick very, very smooth coming out. Just very aggressive, but very smooth. It's keeping him up there, even in a race where he doesn't have the winning strategy.
Matt Kenseth runs second. We believe Biffle has the fuel to go to the distance. What about Kenseth, the second place car?
19 to go. Wow. And just like that. Ooh, that's a dangerous move, trying to get around Rusty.
The points cost you a chance to win this race.
Well, I think so, because we could have maybe gambled a lap or 2 here, and we could have made it to the end. But with the point battle, we just couldn't take that chance. If I run them out of gas, we'd lose a lot more. So this was the way we had to go. It's a safe route.
When will you have to pit?
What about 3 to go?
Wow, 3 to go. They'll top off. He'll come down pit road. Now,
Wow. Man, that's brutal. That's brutal to have to stretch that far, but they're playing chicken, waiting for a caution.
What a break for Greg Biffle, that his teammate can stay out there till 3 laps to go.
And we talked about this in the preview show, is these guys now are going to start thinking about this point championship. It's halfway through the season, and instead of gambling for the win, they're thinking points.
See, there you go. That makes it interesting. You got to really figure out what are you going to gamble in this.
With a splash of fuel late in the race. Last commercial under green flag conditions before we see the checkers. Back to Daytona in a minute. Down to the final 15 laps in the Pepsi
Okay, let's wrap it up quick.
International Speedway. A little drama being played out here in the final laps with fuel mileage coming into play, perhaps deciding who might steal the Daytona victory. Greg Biffle's the race leader. Good to go to the finish on his gasoline.
Yeah, him and Bobby Labonte. Where is Labonte? Oh, he's back there like 6th. 2, 3, yeah. Like 6th place, looks like.
Long ways behind. Gordon running in 20th place. And he is a good distance behind the race leader. You see Gordon's car carrying a little bit of a different paint scheme tonight. Part of a Pepsi consumer promotion where 4 people from Ohio, Alabama, Florida, and Oregon could win a brand new Chevy Monte Carlo tonight if Jeff Gordon wins the race.
I thought it was a $1 billion giveaway. I guess no better there. But hey, okay, a brand new car. Oh boy, Jimmy almost turned around there.
I don't think they should be looking for the keys just yet on that one.
I'll tell you what, those guys are pushing and shoving.
Yeah, did you see Earnhardt push Jimmy Johnson?
Okay, Craven now out of the race. Schrader out of the race. Wow, I guess it was more in the flat tire he had earlier. That sucks.
Johnson did pass Earnhardt Jr. and Waltrip a moment or 2 ago during the commercial break. But again, these guys, if they get a caution, they're going to be contenders for the win. If they don't get a caution, then Greg Biffle, Bobby Labonte, Ricky Rudd, and Terry Labonte. Those are the guys that stopped late enough that we know they're good to the finish on gasoline.
And they're kind of scattered out, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got
Same with the apron. I think it's Robbie's car again. Kind of looked like.
6th. Rudd is 11th and Terry is 12th.
But there's space in between them.
I think this was the last year that Granger was Biffle's primary, because 04 he ran the National Guard car. Because, yeah, he had Granger through his Busch and truck career, and then this first year.
Racing. He's asked Robbie Reiser twice now to go refigure the fuel mileage. He wants to win this race. So Robbie's climbed down the ladder twice, gone to Dave Toronto, the guy who figures the fuel mileage for the 17 bunch, and he said every time we cannot do it. The voice of championship reason is Robbie. He said, Matt, we're going to have to pit.
And that decision made all the more difficult because this is Daytona.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And he's sitting there looking at it going, man, I can taste it.
I mean, it's what, 2 car lengths in front of him, the checkered flag.
Now, Kenseth would certainly make up for this night here in his career with the 2 500 wins.
Out. 3 deep around the David Green lapped car. And these guys back here, Harvick is running 15th. So this is 15th, 16th, 17th.
Yeah, he's running out of time trying to get up there.
But you're right. If the caution flag should come out, it might be the race for the lead and the win.
Dale Jarrett's just been on and off pit road for his final stop. Sterling Marlin is in now. So thin that lead pack by a couple more. As Michael Waltrip tries to fend off Jimmy Johnson.
Comes Todd Bodine in to join this race.
All right, let's go back up front. Greg Biffle, we believe, good to go to the finish on fuel.
Well, he's got to run 41 laps, and I believe that he ran 41
Yep, early Haas car. Yep, that's right. David Green with the Haas sponsorship on a Hendrick car, apparently, according to the qualifying broadcast. In the field here. Final 10 laps of the Pepsi 400.
Now, here's what we talked about. We got 4 cars in the draft, and Bobby Labonte by himself.
Yeah, can Biffle pull away from Labonte? Can these guys help him do that?
Right. That's what we talked about, being scattered out. That draft, those 4 cars are running a lot quicker than Bobby by himself right now.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, that really pulled the pack apart completely.
This could be big, Wally. Could be real big.
Elliott Sadler there in the 38 just in front of Biffle. He's already made that splash and dash pit stop at 139.
And that's going to help him even more. That's what Biffle wants. That's perfect.
That's exactly what he needed. Somebody that could go the rest of the way to get in front of him and tow him along.
And same for Tony Stewart. He stopped on the same lap that Elliott Sadler did. Ward Burton, Bill, what do you got on him?
Well, just want to try and make it a little bit more confusing. I talked to his crew chief, Frank Stoddard. He said based on their first calculations, the 22 car could not go to the finish on their last stop. He said based on their last run, they'll be about a half a lap short. So he's not sure what he's going to do, but if he's half a lap short, he'll be running out on the track, I believe.
I believe you're right, Bill.
You know, the last lap.
Man, half a lap. I mean, that's just brutal. I mean, this is what it comes down to. Richard Petty won a 500 this way.
But I don't know if he can keep that up. He's pedaling as hard as he can to keep up with this group. As we watch Jeff Burton, Ward Burton.
You know, Darrell Waltrip, you think back to 89.
Able to get something off these cars to keep up. Check it this time by. He, once again, ran the same speed as Biffle.
Oh, that's surprising. Well, like you said, Benny may be close enough to be catching the draft off him.
Here goes Biffle by the 38 car.
Nope, see?
Biffle is going to go with him.
It's too fast for him. Getting here behind Stewart and Newman.
Got 3 Fords there, but there's a little branding work there with Elliott Sadler running in behind Biffle now.
Such an unusual Daytona race. This was very much a turning point. The 04.
Started out local racing in the northwestern part of the country. Liked it so much he developed a business building race car chassis and parts. Got discovered by old BP.
I saw him at Tucson at winter heat. And here's a kid that came down there, never seen the racetrack, sat on the pole, led all 150 laps, and as you said, 25 years old and built race cars for a living. I said, what a package this is. And Labonte is back there. He's caught up with this crowd.
There you go. As I was just starting to say, I wanted to step aside for them describing Biffle's background there. But yeah, the 04 500 and the 04 night race were very, very placid, kind of like this one. It wasn't until the 05 500, and even then the 05 night race was pretty quiet that year too. A lot of races that had long green flag runs like this. They were very, very challenging and really demanding on the field. This was kind of the turning point here in this race.
He's still in there in second spot, but he has got to make a pit stop.
I mean, the 500 probably would have been one of these too, but the rain cut it short.
Tony Stewart on the inside of
Ryan Newman.
That was close.
Those guys are racing for a position. They're racing for 23rd and 24th. Tail end of the lead lap.
Here we go.
Down to the last 6 laps.
Side by side here, Bobby Labonte.
Let's see. Ooh, Newman.
Trying to squeeze his way back up in the draft.
Oh, thank goodness for Kenseth there, man. I mean, he was opening the spot for Bobby Labonte to try to get around him.
Here comes Bobby.
Wow.
Also, Labonte has his teammate in front of Greg Biffle now. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, it's an actual race. Nobody's running away from anybody.
Now right in behind Greg Biffle for the race lead. 5 laps to go at Daytona.
Now we'll see some air driving.
Bobby Labonte, the 2000 NASCAR.
So many times Bobby Labonte finished second in a really dramatic finish.
Has had tremendous struggles in these races at Daytona.
98 in the 500. 2002 with McMurray's win.
He's got to go make a pit stop.
2004 with Rusty Wallace's last win. So many examples.
Something just flew off the 31 car, Benny, coming down the front straightaway.
Uh-oh.
They also told the 16 of Biffle that the 17 is peeled off, so Bobby Labonte won't have any help. You're going to have to go it alone. Keep your eyes on that mirror.
Wow. Wow.
You're right. NASCAR spotters are on the racetrack, not calling in any debris. And the race stays at full speed as the
I remember something came off Robbie's car in one of these races. I thought that was 02. Like maybe the hood came off on the backstretch.
That's the problem Bobby's got right now. He doesn't have anybody to help push him by Biffle.
Elliott Sadler has dropped off that lead group. What about Tony Stewart? He's Bobby Labonte's teammate, the first car in that line.
Well, Tony, if maybe Tony moved up the racetrack, he might be able to help Bobby, but the problem is if he does that, he'll lose the position of Ryan Newman.
We've got a damaged car catching. I think it's Mike Wallace.
How about experience versus inexperience here? Bobby's been in so many of these races. Greg is not. Can Bobby force him into a mistake?
Got to be worth something, that experience. That time he moved high up in 3 and 4. Biffle.
Wow, what a battle. Bobby's right there. I mean, very similar to 04 with Junior and Tony Stewart.
Less than 3 laps to go.
And still right behind those lap cars. Tail end of the lead lap cars and Newman and Stewart. What an unusual finish, but again, still hair-raising. Bobby looking for any way by.
Could force him into, if he makes him run down low, then he'll try to shoot up on the outside and get beside him.
Heather Bumblebee, thank you for tuning in. Down to the last 3 laps, the 2003 Pepsi 400.
But we're not going to see anything like Tony Stewart sliding up, dropping back behind Bobby and trying to push him around in this last lap or 2.
Should have done it by now if he was going to do it.
Coming down. Just a couple to go.
But I think Tony will start moving around the racetrack a little bit.
Greg Biffle came up the ladder the NASCAR way, started racing at the local NASCAR sanctioned tracks, went to the regional touring series in the Northwest and Southwest, then became the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion after hooking up with Jack Roush, on to the NASCAR Busch Series champion there 1 year ago.
And if the caution flag should come out now, the race is over. They will not red flag this race.
Ah, that old
5
rule.
laps to go.
Matt, what about Biffle?
The guy calling the race from the spotter stand for Greg Biffle is Joel Edmonds, who last night was calling the race for Michael Waltrip. They came home second. He's telling him, keep it on the bottom. The 18 will
There we go, last lap.
Keep it on the bottom. He has no help.
Ward Burton is on pit road out of gas. White flag is in the air. Final lap. Are we seeing a rookie breakthrough at the biggest track of all? Or can Bobby Labonte get a run and Labonte slow down? Is Labonte out of gas?
He's out of fuel.
Bobby Labonte's come up dry.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Breathe it and make sure he has enough because it's a long way back to Jeff Burton. 3
Wow.
seconds.
I forgot that happened.
What an upset this is going to be. Final corner for Greg Biffle. There'll be a celebration in the Pacific Northwest tonight. There's his girlfriend, Nicole. For Jack Roush, Greg Biffle is going to score a win at Daytona in just his 23rd NASCAR Winston Cup start. Greg Biffle wins the Pepsi 400.
And Roush comes 1-2, and Ricky Rudd comes in third. Another car close with close Jack Roush ties. All right, guys. Congratulations.
What a run. What a run. My goodness. Just had to sit on that stove and sweat ice water.
Randy Goss, the crew chief's voice there.
The voice of reason.
Call him Radar. Looks a little bit like the actor that played the Radar character in the old MASH series. How about Greg Biffle? First-time winner this season. Just his 23rd Winston Cup start. He's a winner at Daytona. Huge.
Long way from Vancouver, Washington.
And Bobby just completely conked out. Wow.
So that won't cost him any championship points. Remember, he's one
It's a
of
great
the
gamble. A great gamble for Bobby. Wow.
And despite the fact that it was Chevrolets that did most of the leading all night, Matt, a Ford wound up taking the checkered flag.
The NASCAR Truck Series, the Busch Series, now Winston Cup. Congratulations, Randy.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm just so proud of the guys. Thank you. Thanks, bud. Just so proud of everybody. I don't have to tell you, we've been struggling. The Granger team's been struggling. It's been hard here for us in Winston Cup. We're used to winning. I just want to thank everybody that stuck behind us. Our fab shop, especially our engine shop, our guys in Michigan, they just dig hard for us. And all the guys back at the shop, especially my team. I've worked a lot of my guys 7 days a week since we started. They just never, ever even complained about it. Just really appreciate it.
How special to pull it off here at Daytona, Randy? This is the biggest one.
Well, it's hard for me right now because we've been struggling so much. We qualified 30th, and you have to get everything just right. My engineer, Dave Winston, you know, I run us out of gas at Sears Point, and now we're gambling on the gas. It works out for us, but it's a tough position.
41 laps on fuel for the former national motorcycle champion. Now he's going to Winston Cup victory lane.
Bill?
I just want to tell you, Greg Biffle said you'll have to tell me where victory lane is. I don't know. He just found it.
Just like Derek Coates. Wow.
Yes, it will. Greg Biffle scoring the win at Daytona tonight over his teammate Jeff Burton. A Roush Racing sweep of the first and second spots. Ricky Rudd, Terry and Bobby Labonte rounding out the top five. For Dale Earnhardt Jr. had to make the extra stop on fuel. He finishes seventh.
I didn't know Biffle ran motorcycles. I thought they were mentioning the crew chief. I could have that wrong.
Congrats, Greg. Not yet. Tell me when. Remember all the good stuff, Biffle.
Getting all the instructions.
All the victory lane stuff.
All right, Bill, take it away.
Well, he's been to victory lane a number of times before, but this is his first in the Winston Cup Series, and it comes at Daytona, the sport's most famous track.
They hand him a Coke for the Pepsi 400 there. It's part of the Coke family there, you see.
Wish they'd show some emotion, huh?
Congratulations.
Thanks. I tell you what, that I can't say enough about Matt Kenseth. You know, that guy, there isn't words to explain how he made me win this race tonight. I mean, he backed off to 18 there, and if he had stayed up with him, he'd have pushed him by, and then they were going to go by us in the backstretch, and Matt pulled down and sacrificed a spot for a win for me. And I tell you, these Granger guys have worked so hard. Everybody, can't say enough about Roush Racing and Ford. This Ford Taurus, really loose, but really fast.
You're a long way from tiny Tucson, Arizona tonight.
Yeah, I am. I just wish that my mom and dad and my brother could be here for my first Cup win and say hi to them back home, and everybody's helped me get here. It's meant a lot to me.
How did you get here, Greg?
This man right here.
It's tough, buddy. It's really tough. You can do it.
Yeah. Here's the actual team owner right over here, the 16 car, Jeff Smith. These guys are just, we've had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of downs lately, you know. Ran out of gas, so I run a 9th to 10th, and got involved with Tony Stewart a few times there and got the short end of the stick, but you know, these guys would just never give up, and here we are.
Okay, now hang on just a second. I want you to put on this headset, and there's somebody that wants to congratulate you, and you'll probably recognize this voice.
Hey, Biffle, good job.
Thanks, baby. Hi all to you, buddy.
Man, it's been a long time since Tucson, Arizona, hasn't it?
Man, it has, and without your help, getting me hooked up with Jack Roush and everybody out in Tucson, all my buddies, John Sewell and John Baker, everybody's helped me out in Tucson get here tonight. means a lot to me.
I told Jack Roush 5 or 6 years ago you could get the job done. I wondered, but you finally have proven me right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was just a pit call by Randy Goss tonight and the team, and that last minute I drove down pit road to get that extra bit of fuel. That was kind of my decision, his decision, and it really worked out for us tonight. Didn't work out last week, but it paid off tonight.
Okay, you owe me a big dinner, all right?
Hey, you bet, BP.
Greg Biffle, congratulations on your first Winston Cup win. Enjoy it. Greg Biffle in victory lane, his first Winston Cup win.
That's tremendous.
At Daytona.
Class act by Bobby Labonte there, too, coming to victory lane. Look at that. Top 4 finishers started no better than 25th.
The 45th running of the Pepsi 400 at Daytona was a great one. A lot of drama, first-time winner, and we continue our post-race coverage here on NBC. Downstairs to Dave Burns.
Well, Bobby Labonte ended up with a top 5 finish quietly across the line, out of fuel. What did that feel like when you knew you were in contention to win this thing?
Well, you know, I just want to thank all the guys on the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. Yesterday we weren't that good in the first practice, got a lot better in the second practice, and had a great race car. You know, not only did we, you know, gamble there, and or not gamble, but we were able to get that gas and not have to pit like some other guys did. But it was a pretty fast race car too. I mean, wasn't as good as some of them, but it was, you know, probably top 10. And then, you know, it's kind of disappointing to finish 5th when you think you had a shot for a win or finish 2nd at least, you know. But that's the way it goes, and you know, still pretty happy.
Yeah, very clean race, absolutely.
Like the first restrictor plate race I finished in about 4 years, so I feel
not on your top or anything.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy about that. But and again, the guys did a good job, and that's what it was all about. Wish we could have won, but you know, congratulate Greg Biffle, and you know, our guys did a great job, and we came home 5th, out of gas and everything. So you know, all in all, that would, you know, sometimes we wouldn't have been able to do that, but tonight, the way the circumstances were, we finished 5th like that.
All right, still looking for a win, but pretty positive about tonight. Marty?
Well, Dave, Jeff Burton was told on the radio that he was half a lap short, so exactly when did the fuel conservation begin, Jeff?
When we left pit road, really. As soon as we left, he said we were half a lap short. And so if you can't save at the beginning of it, you'll never get a chance to save. So we kind of got out of the middle of the pack and just sat there and rode for a little while, just trying to not lose the pack. And then we got kind of behind, and then I had to stay in the gas and go, but and kept, you know, was hoping we didn't run out of gas. But good day for us. We ran well. We not only finished well, but we ran well tonight. And you know, this team in the second half is going to be strong. I really believe that. Real proud of Greg Biffle and those guys. Big fan of Greg Biffle and Randy Goss, and glad to see them in victory lane.
Conserving fuel cost you a shot at the win, you think?
Well, it cost us a shot from being there, just because I wasn't worried about being there. I was worried about just staying in line and lifting. I was running a half throttle an awful lot, and so people were passing me. But you know, sometimes you got to win with your brain and not your foot, and we thought that was the position we were in.
Nonetheless, the season's best finish of 2nd tonight at Daytona for Jeff Burton. Alan?
Let's check NASCAR's top 10 after tonight's Pepsi 400. Matt
Kenseth gained some points there, and Junior up to 2nd.
174 points to 180, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon swapping 2nd and 3rd positions. Matt?
And point leader Matt Kenseth looking over the final roster. A good night by Roush.
Stopped and topped off once, but we didn't.
Okay, good. Looks like we're back. Are we still here? Let me know if you're having any issues in the chat. It said reconnecting for a second, and now it's still counting. So hopefully we're okay.
So I was kind of glad we did it like it was, but yet on the other hand, you know, if we would have topped off, I knew it would have been real close. But you know, I'd rather finish 6th than run out.
Here, good. Okay.
Now it seems like at Daytona and Talladega,
Just skipped a bit. Okay, good.
You get caught up in the big one, lose a lot of points.
Yeah, just refresh if you haven't already.
Yeah, I mean, I think it happened. I definitely, I'd be lying if I say I don't feel better walking out of here tonight 6th. Than
yeah, look at that. Bobby Labonte and Kenseth got right through that wreck.
Really necessarily looking forward.
And
to this
Biffle,
race,
really. I mean, him too.
Really good. I don't know why
they all got to the apron there and
you know, really competitively.
Got right through.
So, to be through all 3 plate races and not have a wreck yet, I'm just happy with that.
Matt Kenseth pads his point lead. On to Chicago next. Alan?
Sometimes you got to be a little lucky to win one of these NASCAR Winston Cup championships. Nice job of driving. Little luck there, too, for Matt Kenseth, missing that big pileup off of turn number 2 earlier in the race. And the Rockets' red glare.
Isn't that beautiful?
The big Independence Weekend celebration not done yet here in Daytona Beach. And there's a celebration of another kind. Time for the champagne.
And again, they aired Days of Thunder right after this race, so how fun is that?
Brothers, another top 5 for them here at Daytona, but for you, best finish to the season's got to feel great.
Yeah, I really do. You know, John Wood, Eddie Wood's son, won the truck race today, and it was been nice to sneak in there and win this thing. And you know, Biffle is good job for him, his first win, and Roush Racing was pretty neat. 1, 2, 3 on their motors tonight. Just Wood Brothers, Motorcraft, Air Force Tours, these guys just played at Pat Trice and played a smart race. They set that fuel strategy thing up about lap 100, and wasn't but a few guys that could do it or thought about it, and Pat was one of them, and it put us in third.
Did you have a great handling car as well tonight? They say at Daytona, you've got to be able to work it in the turns as well. How was your car?
Well, our car, the longer we ran, the better we were. You know, we were sort of set up for the old days when they had the big fuel cell, I guess. The longer we ran, the better we got. And right there.
Yeah, this was July 4th weekend, James Gentry.
We got everybody out on
so yes, you had the patriotic music in the background.
We were pretty racy. We could, hang with the leaders, pass a few cars, and we're going to have a good finish. Really, contrary to the fuel situation, but as it turns out, the fuel situation probably increases probably at least 7 spots on the grid.
And you like being welcomed back into the top 5?
Yeah, I don't know how to act. I was walking back to the motorhome a while ago, and everybody started grabbing me. I didn't know what all the hoopla was about. And I guess top 5 has got a few responsibilities, but they're great responsibilities to be able to sit here and talk with you guys after the race.
Well, it's great to have you here, and of course, we're doing a little extra time tonight here on NBC, so it's a good time to have you finish in the top 5, Ricky. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And I'm with probably the happiest man in Daytona, Jack Roush. Greg Biffle in victory lane. Matt Kenseth dodges a bullet, increases his lead in the championship standings.
That's wonderful stuff. You know, I'm glad to have my son, young Jack, here with me tonight to see it, and so many friends from the great race. But we just had a great evening, which very seldom that we have a chance to prevail on fuel mileage. Randy Goss's strategy was perfect. The mileage worked out, and the car had enough speed to stay with the group he was with and not be caught.
We'll stay with this
We
for a
still
bit.
have
I mean, if you
1997 Ford racing against 2003 Chevrolets, Pontiacs, and Dodges. I can't wait till 2004 and get a new car.
The preceding was a paid political announcement. I want to be in that meeting where you decided on the strategy to go ahead and start.
Because there's a lot of post race on here for like 20 minutes, though. We'll probably bounce out of this here in a little bit, but we'll try to find a natural spot for that here. 15th for Kenny Wallace after a great run, 17th for Buckshot.
Maybe they didn't have much power. They didn't burn a lot of gas. Here we stand.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Marty.
Bill Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished 7th, arguably probably the best car tonight, but had you not had the fuel strategy situation, could you have won the race?
We would have been up there, had a chance to win it. I think Kevin Harvick had a great car. Congratulations first to Greg Biffle, man. What a great place to get your first victory. He must really be enjoying himself. I'm sure he will be tomorrow anyways, but we did all we could, but, just come up a little short. We couldn't take the chance some of them guys could in the back on fuel mileage and stuff like that. Ended up short on that, but got what we could. I swear I was driving as hard as I could, picking off as many spots at the end, just trying to get back to Matt or, do what I could for my points. And we got second back and, didn't gain on Matt another couple points.
Weird angle, but yeah, they wanted to get the fireworks in the background. That's a really good choice.
So the 29 had a good car. Was he better than you were, Junior?
It's possible he was. It looked like when I was leading, he could pass a little bit frequently, more frequently than I could. I just don't know whether my car wasn't any good or I didn't have any friends out there, but my car was fine. The drivers just got to be able to suck it up and make the best of the situation. And I tried to do the best I could and wound up with another top 10, so that's good enough.
Led a lot tonight, but finished 7th. Matt?
And 7th in points coming into tonight's race, Jimmy Johnson.
Gatorade Extremo.
You battled back and forth with adversity all night.
We had a great car, and I've really learned a lot about the draft. And, since I have forward progress, guys will line up behind me, and because they think I'll get to the front, they'll help you. So it's nice now to have the aggressiveness on the track, but, that I've always had. But now I've got people that believe in me that'll help me, and we've been able to work from, we were taking 4 the whole time, and the other guys were taking 2, and we were having
very
to
young
swipe
Jimmy.
back through there again, and we could do it each time.
He did have a great race in
Now,
this
at
one.
one point, it seemed like that there was I want to say, a battle back and forth as far as deal making between the 29 and yourself.
Yeah, we were trying to work some stuff out, and it's hard to know how patient somebody's going to be. And then when you have a big push from behind you, you've got to do something with it. And we tried to work some deals together, but it never really came together. And he hung me out once, so I hung him out once. We tried again, and we hung each other out again. So it's just plate racing.
And did you have issues with Todd Bodine as well? We saw something at the end of the race.
Yeah, I don't know if the spotter wasn't watching or what, but I went in on the outside of him into turn 1, and he drove me clean into the fence. So over there talking to him about it, and like normal, he doesn't know what he did or understand what happened. I'm over there yelling at him, and he thought it was from the lap before. So he just doesn't have a clue sometimes and took us out of a good finish. But just part of it. We'll be back next week.
And the good news for you, we're going on to Chicago, a very
Ooh,
special
boy,
place.
yeah, he did get him into the fence.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a great place. One of my first Busch race there.
It's a big
Looking
hit.
forward to going back. It's Chad's hometown track, and Los Monte Carlo is going to be quick, so we're looking forward to it.
Let's talk also about the big one. You made a great move to avoid that.
We got lucky. I saw the smoke, and I saw Kurt's car sitting sideways for a long time, and I didn't really know which way to go. Finally, I picked my lane, and I got down on the flat and was able to get by him, and I was real lucky. It was a close call.
Well, Jimmy Johnson, the fireworks going off in the air. He's on to Chicago next, Marty.
Well, Matt, I asked Dale Earnhardt Jr. this question, so I'll ask you, Kevin Harvick. Did the fuel strategy cost you the race?
It cost us a shot at it. I thought racing the 8 and the 48 and those guys back there that everybody else was going to have to pit, but you know, it was a good night for the Goodwrench car. We just couldn't afford to take the chance. There's too much at stake in the points, and we couldn't afford to run out of gas.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said your car was better than his. Do you agree?
It was pretty good. We could pass people and put ourselves in position, and in the pits, on and off pit road, we did a great job all night long.
It's fun to see the strategy work out there. Yeah, Harvick had a great car.
Front, but you know, that's how it goes, and we'll take it.
Kevin, put me in the driver's seat. How frustrating is it to know you have one of the best cars, certainly a shot at the win, and then have fuel take you out of the situation?
Well, we've won races like that, we've lost races like that, and it's a part of the sport. So a lot of times the fastest car doesn't win, and tonight I think the fastest cars didn't have a shot at it, but congratulations, Greg Biffle. That was a great job.
Team turning the corner. Now we head to Chicago in the racetrack you won last year.
Undefeated, man. It's a good feeling, so we're ready.
2-0 at Chicago, going for 3 in a row next week here on NBC, Dave.
And with two-time Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte with a 4th place finish here.
Yeah, great post race for sure. I love all these interviews.
Being back in the top 5 has got to feel good.
Well, it was a good
this fireworks shows going plenty long here.
Did a great job. They did it all in the pits tonight, and with gas mileage and pit strategy, and it paid off, so it was a good run for us.
How important was that? I mean, track position here seems so critical nowadays for them to get you in and back out so quick.
Yeah, it was really important. It's awful difficult to pass, and you know, we just kept trying to work strategy a little bit against the track position. We got 2 tires there at the end of the last stop, and you know, kind of hung in there. And
I usually say like fireworks don't look great on TV, but these look really good.
And you told me Jim Long actually had the strategy going. He backtracked a little bit, and this is really how he had it planned.
Yeah, we'll watch the whole
out,
post race. What the hell?
Well, you know,
no
he
worries.
keeps track of it during the race, and the way the race unfolded there, we were getting good enough mileage that we were able to come in and top off the last caution that we had, and then we can make it on 1 stop. Some of the other guys, of course, up front didn't want to give up the track position, so it worked to our advantage.
All right, well, this was Terry's 50th start here at Daytona, and he nets his 11th top 5. Alan?
All right, let's check the final rundown. In the 45th Pepsi 400, Greg Biffle with the victory. We can tell looking through the record books.
I just love these NBC graphics. They're
Winston
so
Cup
good.
Rookie candidate to ever win a race at Daytona.
There you
How
go.
about that? A bestest rookie challenger, I'll get it out in a minute, wins here at Daytona. How about Jeremy Mayfield finishing in 8th position?
Yep, and he was one of the guys who had to stop
Yeah,
for fuel.
NBC's
Michael Waltrip
font there. I
wound
mean,
up
they're
11th.
generic one for the
Sure he's
09,
disappointed
but
at that, his attempt to win 3 straight
I
at
love how they
Daytona.
endeavored to use all the actual car fonts.
Great run for Kenny Wallace and Buckshot Jones, 17th.
And of course, the
All these
music.
cars still on the lead lap. See Kyle Petty in 23rd. Was the last one to finish in the same lap with the leader.
That's interesting. Yeah, Petty was going right by it during his donuts and end up on the lead lap. That's weird.
Those last few laps.
Now some of the drivers who had problems and wound up in the garage or many laps down at night's end. Mostly involved in that big wreck off of turn number 2.
Great job by Park
back
and
in
Robbie's
number
team to get back
75.
out there. Mike Wallace back out there too, and Raven in last place.
With Jeff Gordon. How was your
Tight
night?
battle at the back. Very tight.
Decent. It wasn't great. I mean, I made one mistake early on in the run in the race. I let the 38 get to the inside of me, and I could have made him go to the outside of me, and that was pretty costly because I fell back quite a bit. At that point, we just fought back all day long. Had a good handling car. Just I think we took a little bit of speed out of it to try to get the handling that hurt us, and then of course fuel mileage. But I made it through that wreck, and I don't know how. So I got to count myself pretty fortunate right now to come home 14th.
Well, tell me how. I mean, how did you? We can actually show it to you if you watch over here, I think. But you can tell me if you know how you got through it.
Well, I tell you, I just pretty much saw it out of the corner of my eye. I saw the guy go start to spin on the inside, and then I saw him start to come up the track, and about that time I was on the brakes, going to the inside, and I had Jimmy Johnson on the inside of me, and I mean, both of us just barely squeezed by, and I mean, I thought my fender just touched that car, so
it was amazing. There weren't more cars involved in that.
Okay,
Tremendous driving.
There's the mess. You can watch it on that monitor there. You coming through there in that smoke somewhere?
Yeah, I'm there somewhere. You can't see anything in a deal like that. I just saw him spin to the inside, and then I saw him start to come up the track, so I knew
there
that
he
I
is. I see
needed to get to the
Gordon already
bottom
on
of
the other side of
racetrack,
it.
and then it got real smoky and couldn't see anything, and I just said, I hope I make it through, and at the last second I turned left because I just thought it was right in front of me, and it happened to be.
Did you know the fuel mileage deal was going on for those guys?
I looked up on the board a couple times. I said, those guys are going to be able to make it on fuel, and Robbie didn't want to tell me that, but he kind of came back later and said, yeah, and we were fighting back there for a bunch of positions, and we had taken 2 tires, so, I was just slipping and sliding around trying to get all I could.
Now, you have a lot of fans, Jeff, but you have 4 particular fans that you really let down tonight, don't you?
Yes, I did. And everybody else in the stands that could have gotten a free Pepsi, but,
They got free Pepsi. Oh, man.
$1 billion with this Pepsi promotion going on this summer, and we're still right up there in the points where we need to be, and got a lot of racing left to go.
Okay, on to Chicago. Good luck.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Matt.
Well, first off, Michael Waltrip, you just watched the big crash, and you saw
He's
it
got
on
one of his
video. What
all-over
did it look like in your
pictures.
mirror?
It looks cool when you can see them in your mirror. That's the best place to look at it, craziness like that. But, when you see that in your mirror and you come back and there's nobody sitting there, it must have been a great job of driving by a bunch of guys. And obviously, all those boys were on their toes and slid through there and had a great race. Our car was so good. We were able to take the lead and charge to the front and lead some laps. And then fuel mileage is kind of disappointing when you have that get involved.
Well, we're going to show you what it looked like in your mirror, that wreck. Yeah. We're going to play it. Here you go, Michael. You can look at it.
Well, we'll see I know what it looked like. Let's show the people at home what it looked like. That's when you are going, oh, thank goodness that the good Lord has positioned me ahead of that boy.
There you go.
Man, we just were real good. Our car was great. Slugger and the guys, Richie Gilmore, everybody did their job. It's just crazy. It would be obnoxious for us to think, Matt, we could come down here and win another one. It's so difficult to do. So we didn't really think that, we were going to win by any stretch, but we knew we'd be a part of the story, and had the gas.
They were fast.
Factor, I think
yeah, it just didn't quite work out.
How frustrating, though, for fuel to dictate?
It's part of this sport, and it's what makes it so great. It's why when you line up, you don't know who's going to win. There's so many factors that can enter into it. I wished it hadn't been that way, but I've been on the receiving end of that good grace before. So, again, I'm just thankful that we had a safe race and our car ran so well. I'm proud of our performance, proud of Napa Auto Parts and all my sponsors.
Now, everybody was gunning for you guys coming back down to the beach. How much pressure was it on DEI to keep that streak rolling? Because you knew everybody was gunning for you.
Well, we just knew we were positioned properly. Dale Jr. led laps, I led laps. We knew we'd done everything we could to be in the same form.
Yeah, how did he fit in those cars? Good question, Fernandez.
It's not really pressure when you have the confidence to know you got the equipment, you got the people turning the bolts and wrenches to do the job. It just, ever since we've been heading this way, I've been kind of walking a little bit with a little extra bounce in my step because it's so much fun to have cars like were provided at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. It just goes right back to Dale Earnhardt. He expected his restrictor plate cars to be fast. All the boys on the team know that. We work real hard to make sure we're able to look good out front.
Now, he hired Richie Gilmore, spent a lot of money budget-wise to make sure this plate program is what it is. Now, Gilmore had a different engine package for this race, but you had part of that package here in February 1. What was the package like tonight? Did you like it?
I liked it a lot. I thought that yesterday in practice, I told Richie, I said, you got it here. This is what we need to win the race. We pulled a low gear, and we were able to turn a lot of RPMs. The car was set to win the race. We passed Harvick, and once we got in the front, we could string them out a little bit and ran some really fast times. So she wants to say something.
Macy, what do you want to say?
I lost my first tooth.
You did?
Aw.
Show him.
She lost a tooth. Michael Waltrip lost a win. He comes home 11th here in Daytona. Alan?
That's great. How good was that? Michael, no doubt disappointed, as you heard, but able to accept it as the breaks of the game.
Still 5th in points for Michael, too, looking at the points there. Well done.
Heading to Chicago with a 180-point gap over Dale Earnhardt.
And still half the season to go. See, that's the thing. It's not a big enough point lead to lock the championship up. Anything can happen in the second half of the season.
NASCAR on NBC with our post-race coverage. After
still a lot of people still in the crowd. That's cool to see.
Pepsi 400, certainly an upset. rookie driver scoring his first win. Now, there was an incident late in the race that we need to go back and report to you on. Matt Yoakum came on from pit road and reported to us that something had flown off the 31 car, and we couldn't see any debris on the track, and we remained under green. Well, that's because the hood from Robbie Gordon's car flew over the catch fence and into the grandstand. There were injuries. Spectators take it away. We don't know the number. We don't know the extent of the injuries.
Oh, goodness.
Certainly something we'll follow up on for you as soon as information.
They got a neck brace there. Oh my gosh! I don't know, just land on someone's head or something like that. I hope you got at least keep the hood. Like, what the heck?
For impounding.
That's right. I always thought that was on the back stretch. I guess yeah, it was on the tri-oval. How crazy!
Didn't keep it there. Let's go to Marty Snyder.
Well, so far, Jeremy Mayfield is perfect at Daytona, Alan. He finished 8th here in February and 8th tonight. Nice run for you.
Yeah, she's smiling. That's good. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we kept getting our Dodge better all night, and this one thanks to Duke crew. They kept working on it, good pit stops and good fuel mileage from the engine shop, and great body. The car ran good, handled good, and it's fast. Qualified in the top 10, and good pit calls. And just one of those things. That's what you got to do anymore. Everything's got to be perfect, and just to even get a top 10 here.
I know this has been a frustrating season for you, ups and downs, but 2 top 10s in a row, obviously something you can build on. Does that make you feel better about heading into the second half of the season?
Yeah, a lot of great storylines in this one, too. I mean, on top of Biffle's win, of course.
Good. And, I just want to say that, I feel like our momentum's rolling that way. I say that a lot, but I feel like we're certainly this time turning the corner and hopefully have our Dodge up front week in and week out. And, just all the Dodge dealers stuck behind us all year. Hopefully we can show them we can do the job now.
Now, you were right behind Robbie Gordon when his hood flew off. What was your perspective of that?
Man, I don't know. I just seen him fly off, and I didn't know where it went. It didn't look good when it happened, and I just know it took off, towards the fence, and I was hoping nobody got hurt, and hopefully they didn't. But it looked like he got wrecked anyway and just wasn't on there very good and turned off.
Been a lot of talk about you and your security in this race car. Do good finishes just keep you in the seat? Does that make you feel good enough about staying in the seat?
Man, I ain't heard that in like 3 or 4 weeks. You bring it back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then I won't bring it up then.
Ray and I have been talking, and this is what we got to do. We got to keep this team together and keep it strong and keep running good. And hey, if we're not running good, no workout. Neither one of us want to keep going. But I think right now we both want to keep this thing going and keep the 19 group together. And our Dodge has been running good, better and better every week. And
certainly an interesting interview here.
Go from there.
That's the best way to make him be quiet, right? Just
career after
this. Run well, right?
Right, then you can't say nothing, right?
Exactly right. See you in Chicago. Dave?
Well, of course, the winning car is not done yet. After it runs the 400 miles here and wins the race, it has to be checked over by NASCAR. So they do a tear down of certain parts of the engine.
How fun. They did this like a pre-race
with NASCAR rules.
Or practice
right when he came off the track, they checked his spoiler angle to make sure that was
still
legal.
Checking the
he runs all the way. He
post-race
wins this
inspection.
Race, and he still doesn't get go home early. Actually, Greg maybe won't because he's celebrating. His guys are going to have to stick around and let NASCAR see what they want to see and make sure that this car stayed within the rules even after the 400 miles. Alan?
It is. It's a long lap for those. Normally they take what the top, how many now? And then they pull a number out of the hat, so it could be anybody in the field.
They take the top 5 and 1 or 2 other cars, and they'll be 2 or 3 hours because they got to completely disassemble.
Yeah,
the
what
to make
excellent
sure
post-race. Excellent post-race on this.
I think after you win, you'll put up with the teardown. Yeah, it's worth it. Let's do our race recap for you.
I just love all these things you don't really see in the garage area and so forth. That's wonderful. I mean, behind the scenes stuff's what should be emphasized.
Pre-race celebrations on Independence Weekend, and then the field of 43 rolled off for competition at Daytona. Lap 38, first set of pit stops brought trouble for Tony Stewart. He ran out of fuel. About a quarter of a lap short of pit road, had trouble getting the car going, lost a lot of ground. He was able to catch back up when the caution came out at lap 55. First, Michael Waltrip with a nice crossover move. Underneath Kevin Harvick, getting the lead away from Harvick there.
See, because there's so many things that happen in one race. I mean, even in this one here, you know.
Dave Blaney gets touched by Jack Sprague off turn 2.
I mean, Biffle's win certainly dominates it as well as it should, but there's way more that was happening, and it's all getting attention, which is great. You can leave this having something to say about most of the drivers in the field. Maybe not everybody, but most, which is good. That's probably as good as anyone can expect.
Big incident of the night, 7 cars when Kurt Busch cut down a right rear tire, caught up Robbie Gordon, Steve Park, Joe Nemechek, and a few others. Here's a look at it from Gordon's perspective. Mike Wallace also involved. The big wreck, only 7 cars tonight. That's actually not bad. It could have been a lot worse. They were still bunched up from the previous restart. Lap 138 now.
And yeah, sum up what happened in the race too. Don't just be like stage 1 winner, stage 2 winner, checkered flag. It's like, no, there's way more than that.
Splash of fuel. In the meantime, Greg Biffle, who had pitted with 41 laps to go, stays out front, gets the lead when the others pit. Bobby Labonte's trying to take the lead from him. In the final lap, Labonte runs out of fuel, and Greg Biffle scores his first NASCAR Winston Cup win of all places at Daytona.
How tremendous.
And the victory celebration was pretty cool.
They had enough gas for burnout.
Greg Biffle, now the 11th fastest winner in Winston Cup history, winning in his 23rd race. That's 2 better than Tony Stewart. 11th on the all-time list.
Look at all this other content they have. They had stuff ready for this, even if the race ended that quickly. This is like, what, a half hour of bonus content?
Speedy 166.
And it's not even just pundits talking to each other. Like, they're doing way more.
Alan Kyle Petty was one of those trying to stretch the fuel.
Kyle Petty interview? Wow. Now, we were spoiled during this era.
Not bad. You know, we struggled all week. We sent 2 cars home from down here. We used a provisional. We just never run the whole time here. And Lane made a good call. Stephen Lane made a great call, and we gambled on fuel mileage, but evidently this wasn't our week. We didn't run, and we didn't get fuel mileage either, so we ran out of fuel with a lap to go and ended up 23rd. So I think we beat a lot of people because I coasted all the way around and coasted back down the front stretch and took the checkered flag. A lot of those guys ran out of gas and just came down pit road, so they were credited 1 lap down, where I ended up finishing the last lap.
Oh, there we go. Interesting. Interesting.
Towards your engine guys this week, you were very upset with them. How do you fix that, I guess, is the best way to say that, and where do you start?
You know, I don't know, because last year, I think Mike Egge and that group, Mike Egge Racing Engines, built some of the best engines there were last year, bar none, hands down. And we come out this year and we struggled with our cars.
It's be like interviewing Riley Herbst today. Yeah, there you go.
And we're 24 hours a day almost to get their cars ready, and at the same time, our engines have got worse and worse and worse. And it basically come to a head this week when you come with 3 cars down here, 2 of them missed the race, 11 cars missed the race, and 4 of them are Mike Egge Racing engines, and somebody's going to have to pick up the pace somewhere. And if we're going to go to an outside vendor and we're going to play this way, then I heap all the praise on them last year because they did a phenomenal job, but right now they're letting us down. And I just let him know they were letting us down.
But in the end, you are the head of Petty Enterprises, and it all starts at the top. Where do you start fixing things?
Well, I fixed it last time we didn't make engines. We made an engine change. We went from doing it in-house to doing it with Mike Egge Racing Engines. And, you know, we're going to have to sit down and figure out where we're at with him. Can't change lanes every time something doesn't go your way. But by God, this is Winston Cup racing, and you got to be competitive, and somebody's going to have to work. And I don't care if they come down here and jack off at the racetrack or whatever they do. They're going to have to get their butt to work and build some motors. And we ain't got them right now. We hadn't had them for the last 6 or 7 weeks, and they're letting Georgia Pacific down, letting General Mills down, Coca-Cola, Dodge, and they're letting our team down and letting these drivers down. These guys are going to have to get to work.
Kyle, is it hard to be the president?
Wow, wow.
No, it's easy. It's easy when you're sitting there and you master motor and there ain't no motor. You know there ain't no motor. You don't have to have a driver come in and tell you. But just on the reverse side of that, it was easy the first of the year when our bodies were way off and we couldn't drive them around the racetrack. It was easy for me to come in and say, hey, our cars are screwed up. Right now, I think we've got pretty decent race cars. I'm not saying they're the greatest cars in Winston Cup racing, but they're a lot closer to being better cars than what our engine program is right now.
All right, see you in Chicago.
See you, man.
23rd place.
Wow, great interview. Wow, wow.
First times in Charlotte.
Oh my goodness. Heavy stuff going. See, this stuff still happens today. You just never hear it. You never hear it.
Yeah.
What a wonderful interview.
You know, it's hard to come by, but when you got Robert Yates and Doug Yates,
great job by Marty on that one too. Excellent.
DJ did an awesome job getting in and out of the pits, and we ended up.
Yeah, Blue Lightning. Yeah, Kyle Petty not happy with his engine builder, to say the least. They say he's literally letting their sponsors down.
What does this do for the
that's
team?
huge.
Give them a lot of momentum going into Chicago.
Well, it's a start. This is our Daytona 500 in July. We're starting over, and just get back consistency, and the wins will come back to us.
Now, we have followed your private life and your professional life for a number of years. 2 years ago, you got a phone call in Pocono that your wife, Tara, was going to be getting a heart transplant. You're waiting for another phone call. What is it?
Well, we're adopting a little boy this week sometime. Hopefully it'll be soon while I'm at home. We'll be going tests and doing a lot of stuff. But, yeah, we're adopting our first child this week.
Well, congratulations. Top 10
yeah, I
finish.
don't know if Jarrett's already left or not, but yeah, maybe.
To Bill Weber.
Well, thanks, Matt. And out here on pit road, the stands are pretty much empty, and the teams are wrapping up their stuff. We've completed 17 races so far in the NASCAR Winston Cup season. Now we have 14 different winners in the first 17 races. On the Discover Card Countdown the Green, we talked about all the surprises, all the headlines, and all the headaches in the first 16 races of the season. This ranks up there as one of the biggest surprises of the year, and maybe one of the biggest surprises in many years, with Greg Biffle going to victory lane. It certainly sets the stage for a big race in Chicago next week. That's when this series hits the halfway mark and the race to the championship continues. Back upstairs to Alan.
All right, Bill, thank you. A couple things to follow up on as we get set to conclude the night. The
great coverage. My goodness.
See anybody get tagged for out of bounds tonight? Pit road, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, would be huge tonight. It was.
And fuel mileage. Some of the guys talked about, when I talked to them in the pit area, that fuel mileage might be a winner. Michael Waltrip said he thought fuel mileage would win the race.
All right. It was a great night.
It was a good race, yeah.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And it was nice to see it mix up tonight. A little bit of fuel mileage, fast cars. It was fun.
Dramatic race. We enjoyed it very much, and it's just the beginning as we bring you the race.
Yeah,
for
Bill
the
Weber,
championship
phenomenal
here on
job.
NBC and our partners at TNT, right through the season-ending race mid-November in Homestead, Florida. We'll be here for you every week. Don't forget, next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, it's NASCAR Busch Series Racing from Chicago, presented by Midas. Then next Sunday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, the Winston Cup drivers turn with the Tropicana 400. Next, except on the West Coast, your late local news, followed by Saturday Night Live, hosted by Jeff Gordon, in a show recorded earlier this year. For Benny Parsons, Wally Dallenbach, Bill
it was
Weber,
TNT that was playing Days of
NASCAR
Thunder.
NBC crew, Alan Bestwick, good night from Daytona Beach.
Well, a fantastic race for sure. Greg Biffle with a huge win. As they said, he scored his first win even quicker than Tony Stewart did in 1999. A mammoth upset. I had forgotten that Bobby Labonte was right on his rear bumper when he ran out of gas. I thought he was just kind of by himself in a bunch of lapped cars and just kind of pulled it out. Very compelling race. And, you know, again, much like the season in which it took place, you probably hear from people today, you know, maybe either some newer fans, not all of them, and maybe, you know, some that you prefer something different out of an outcome, would call this boring. And again, completely separate and apart from what's happened this week. Quite the opposite. Really compelling, great storylines throughout the field, great strategy that came into play. Didn't have any stage cautions to break it up, not anything like that. A wonderful, wonderful race. And of course, for Biffle, a tremendous start to his career. First of 19 career Cup Series wins. Within a year, by the time that, not just that year at Homestead, but the next year with the National Guard sponsorship, winning at Homestead when his teammate Kurt Busch clinched the championship, second in a row for Roush. It looked like there was potentially going to be 3 in a row for Roush in 05, because Biffle and Carl Edwards and the rest of the team were really on all cylinders. It was a dominant period that really set up a tremendous lineup there. And of course, Biffle winning at Homestead in 2005, and that photo finish there with Mark Martin. You know, it was a tremendous career that he had, and a tremendous life that he lived, and it really started from there. And I'm glad we watched the rest of it there, because there was a lot. You see the respect that the other drivers had for him even back then. You know, Greg, much like Ricky Stenhouse after him, you know, had a period in his career where he got in the truck series and was tearing up a lot of equipment, and it was potentially going to be something where maybe he wasn't going to stay in the series. And yeah, Benny Parsons, you know, picked him out before that to, you know, get him in connection there, but things almost didn't work along the way. And, you know, he fought through it, and much like he did even later in his career, where, you know, he was one that you would always watch at the fast tracks, places like Michigan and Atlanta and Texas, that he would just rack up those victories out there. A tremendous career. Reading a couple super chats from here, and big thanks to those of you. Thank you to everyone for watching along here with the watch along tonight, and thank you to these super chats here as well. Joshua P. Boston, 1999. Thank you for your super chat for $16. It's been a long way without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you about it when I see you again. Good, perfect lyrics for the moment. And again, thank you for the super chat there as well. Definitely agree. Beast of Metal 1989, thank you for your super chat, 1607. Thank you for that as well. Can't forget, of course, Michael Annette that we lost just a couple weeks ago here leading into this too. And again, thank you for that inclusion of that. My heart goes out to the Biffle family, the others on the plane, those left behind, and anyone touched by Biffle's racing career and his humanitarian work. And again, mentioned that at the top of the show as well. Definitely agree. You know, his work for Hurricane Helene victims who are still continuing to try to get their lives back in order again. They are in a much better position than they would have been were it not for Biffle's tremendous efforts with that. And I'm sure that was a family effort there as well, and the whole infrastructure that was working there behind the scenes. And again, is not just mentioning the Biffle family, but once again, Craig Wadsworth, longtime RV coach driver there as well. Kenny Wallace very much knew him. There was another report. I believe he worked with another team in the past. Longtime member in the motorsports community. It's not just about the drivers themselves, but it's about the other support system. And of course, Dennis Dutton and Jack Dutton, Dennis's youngest son, also lost in the tragic accident this past Thursday. So that will about do it here for the show. So again, I was looking to do a holiday thing. I don't know if we'll do another stream here between now and Christmas. Just in case we don't, I just want to wish you all a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And, you know, just God be with the families and supporters, the victims from this week. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Take care.